Hooray for Hollywood, where stars are living large, in mansions with their servants and their credit cards in charge, with fame that's fleeting, but the egos never change, where everyone's a genius, except the ones who really arrange. Hooray for Hollywood, where the scandals always sell, where every whispered secret is a new tabloid's tell. Oh, how we adore the endless red carpet galore. Hooray for Hollywood, where less is always more.
Hey, so I made a video,
Okay.
and this time I actually used like AI to make video footage, not just like
Ooh,
not just a
you're
slideshow.
expanding, Mark. You're becoming
Yeah. So it was 7 minutes, and partially because when I did two things. One, I put all of the damn you Hollywoods into Notebook LM and all the triple features whenever we did a new movie. It was over 50 sources, so it cut off at about the summer. So like the second half of Damn You Hollywood was not there. But I was like, that's okay. No one but me cares about this sort of thing. So I made the song. The song came about 7 minutes long. And then the other thing, and I didn't notice until after I'd done all the production stuff on it, was that it repeated some of the movies. Also, and this is hilarious, Shay and I did a triple feature of musicals. It was Odessa, Dear Evan Hansen, and The End. And there's a line in there about Dear Evan Hansen. So this is not quite up to the quality that Jesse did last year for us. This is Mark's punk rock lack of quality. That said, it's too long to put in here as a theme, so I have to play it as a YouTube video, and I didn't get it set up in time. So we're going to end with it instead of begin with it.
Okay.
And with
That
with that impromptu production meeting, hello and welcome to Damn You Hollywood, the year in review. Here's your host,
sucked.
Robert Winfrey. Hooray!
Yeah. Welcome everybody. We're happy to do this every year. We get to have a nice little look back. We look forward. A good time is had by all. And man, this last year, I struggled to get to 10. I'm just going to say it up front. Like my top 5, I'm actually pretty solid with. I think those were good. Filling out like the back half of my best movies of the year was a struggle because not a great year for movies, especially like, Mark, you mentioned that a lot of your list is very snooty this year.
So just for the new audience, the scrolling TikTok audience, a comment was made a few years ago about my top 10 by one Chris Bailey, by Big Guns Chris Bailey. And he said, this looks like the top 10 list of a movie critic who has no friends. He wasn't wrong. This year, I might have outdone myself. Hey, before we go any further, Alexis Hayna is here.
She is.
And we want to acknowledge her before she demands we give her attention.
I was going to dovetail from Mark has a very snooty list.
Right.
And you're counterbalancing, Mark, when it comes to our critical selection this year. We have Alexis. Look, just two sides of the same spectrum. There's no shade being thrown at that.
Let me guess your list. Superman, Fantastic Four, Elio.
Because now you're doing it, not me.
You think Elio made it on my list?
Did it really? No. I'm fucking with you.
No, God, I gave Elio a negative review because of what it could have been. That movie was a disappointment. And for the record,
I do remember Concrete Jones. Yes, I'm just making fun of you.
Yeah, for the record, I just realized that's not the background I made you. I made you a perfectly good background, and you didn't use it.
You really did, and I had already committed to this one, but I applaud the effort.
I'm trying to make more stuff so you don't have to constantly use AI, okay?
In my defense, this wasn't made by AI. I just stole this from somewhere else and then threw a logo on it.
You have a graphic designer on your staff, okay? You can use
then we should plan these things out well ahead of time, and they should come in on time and schedule, lady. I am a demanding boss. I demand things be done on time and ahead of schedule.
I sent this to you a while ago. For the record, though, I'm also with Robert on this one. I had 9 films that were concrete. Okay, these are on my best of list. My 10, I went and binged a couple of Hollywood movies recently. Took my mom to see Marty Supreme yesterday. Good movie, not top 10 quality, but a good movie. We'll probably be talking about that on our Oscars podcast.
Alexis, I love you more than life itself. You and I need to have a fist fight. Just get. You know how some people like just fucking get it over with. You and I just need to fucking get in a ring. You know, I'll tie one hand behind my back, and just me and you just need to have a fucking fist fight.
I tried to punch you when I saw you at the Tampa Comic-Con, remember?
The MagaCon. That'd be funny. MegaCon. All right, let's get into what this is. We are going to do our top 10 movies of the year, our bottom 5. Alexis will grace us, don't correct me, with her top 5 animated movies of the year. So that's it. So the first hour is going to be broken up into 4 parts. We're going to start with the bottom 5 of our top 10, break, do the bottom 5 movies, the worst movies of the year, and then finish up the top 10, and then Alexis will do her 5 best animated, and we'll do the money. No studio breakdown this year, as Robert and I talked about this. This isn't fun anymore. No matter who wins, they get bought by Netflix. I don't give a fuck. I haven't even looked in the news to see if there's the propaganda that we used to do the segment for. It's basically like there would be propaganda that like, oh, this studio won the year, and it's like if you actually look at the math, they didn't. This Hollywood propaganda. We did it for a few years. We made our point. I don't feel the need to keep doing it. Also, I ran out.
They partially, like, again, the studios kind of stopped making it big talking points. I think in no small part because people like us, not us because our reach is too small, but people like us said, "Boy, you're all full of crap."
We inspired people with an audience. That's how I'm going to take that.
Now what we tend to have are like individual bot swarms about, hey, this movie's actually doing really great. When no, it isn't.
So we're just going to do a regular money segment like we all do. We'll talk about the weekend, and then we're going to do my favorite part of the year is when I regale Robert with the entirety of the movies in 2026 or whatever the year is, Wikipedia page, and we watch as you ever. I don't remember with the exact reference, but the guy in a chair, and it's not the Clockwork Orange, but as he's moving through, on a rail, he's just more and more his eyes just open wide, and as the horrors overwhelm him. That's Robert every time I have to tell him what the list is of movies in the following year.
Every time we go through this, I think, this can't be worse than 21. This can't be worse. And inevitably, almost invariably, I'm proven wrong. It can always get worse.
I think Robert once described it as being swallowed whole and shit out by Monstro the whale. That's the process of going through these.
As opposed to being coughed out by Monstro the whale.
You escape through the other end, yes.
Robert is hot, wet, on fire, covered in poop, and very ashamed of himself.
No. I feel no shame during the scheduling. I feel shame at the end of the year when I look back at what I've devoted my time and energy to. But in the beginning, I feel no shame looking forward.
Okay, let's get into it. Alexis, again, 2 minutes or less. Your number 10 for the year.
Okay, but for the record, I do have 3 honorable mentions, as I always do. My 3 honorable mentions: Wake Up Dead Man, props to a good murder mystery and ending a trilogy on a high note. Number 2, Fixed. Gotta love Genndy Tartakovsky stepping out of his comfort zone. The man is still one of my favorite animators. And number 3, Fantastic Four: First Steps. After bungling the Fantastic Four as long as they have, it was great to see not a terrific movie, but a solid movie. And I still stand by that the production design alone was fantastic in that.
Everyone's putting up their top 10s or whatever and bottom 5s on TikTok. Somebody named Fixed as the worst movie of the year.
Not even close.
Alrighty.
It's funny. Okay.
It's just super juvenile. So if you're not into the humor, then it's gonna land very poorly for you.
It is. That's why it's on the honorable mentions. I wanted to give a shout out. It's Genndy Tartakovsky. The man's one of my heroes. Okay. Yep. Number 10 is Noelle Vague. This was a fun black and white film that actually it's about the new wave of French art films. I really enjoyed it. I thought Zoe Ketch, who's playing an American who's in Paris, her French was incredible. And it inspired me to want to learn more about the new wave of those films that came out at that time. It kind of reminded me of, how do I put this? It's like if Ed Wood was actually aware of what he was doing and was doing it on purpose. That's the way the new wave style comes out. It's like, yes, we are shooting guerrilla style, but we are not shooting guerrilla style because I'm an amateur. We are shooting guerrilla style because that is art. And it's just interesting. You know, it's a very interesting period of film history. It's shot beautifully. The actors are all terrific. And as someone who has studied art and French culture and film, it really got my attention.
All right, Robert, you're up.
So I reserved the 10th spot on my list this year for a movie that is decidedly not, I think, one of the 10 best movies of the year, but something that was going to be off the beaten path that I wanted to give a little bit of shine and notoriety to. And then a fairly decently large YouTube channel scooped it. I'm still sticking with it because I am committed to the bit at this point, but my number 10 this year goes to a weird little horror flick called Strange Harvest.
Oh, I've heard about this. I've heard this is really good.
Yeah, it's presented it's done by the director of the original Grave Encounters. In this instance,
it got delayed a few years, didn't it?
I think so. In fact, given the material that it's monkeying with, it's probably almost certain. Well, where Grave Encounters played with, hey, we'll do the paranormal investigator found footage thing. This is played like a, true crime documentary. Is the kind of genre it's playing with. I don't want to say too much. If you're a big weenie, there's no like graphic stuff on screen, but there's discussion of I don't say that to insult Mark. I say this just so you know, because it's playing in the true crime genre. There's in the true crime aesthetic, not genre. There's discussion of graphic material, but it's not. Most of it isn't shown on screen, so I'd say that again as a disclaimer. It's also it's a little bit try-hard, a little bit edgelord with some of the violent material, but again, kind of the fact that it's playing with what it looks like to be a true crime, Netflix kind of thing. That's the presentation it's given. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to tell you much more than that. I think going in more blind is good. There's a little bit of a hard left turn towards the end narratively, but it worked for me. It may not work for you, but individual mileage will vary on that. But if you need something that we haven't reviewed on this channel in any capacity, Strange Harvest, if you like the horror stuff, look it up. It's a good time.
Okay, so a couple of things. One, I was tracking these at the beginning of the year, and then I kind of gave up. And then, as I was telling you guys in the pre-meeting, I took everything that we did and I threw it into Notebook LM. Notebook LM only captured half of it because I also included triple features where we did new movies. Bottom line is so the second half of the year was not in Notebook LM. It didn't count those sources. So when I asked it, based on my transcripts, what did I say were the best movies of the year versus the ones that I actually picked for myself that I could remember? It's a little bit different. And also, again, it doesn't have half the movies that I saw. Like, it was funny because and I'm saying this because my honorable mention was when I saw it, the best movie of the year. It was like, I think I'd said it was like the top movie of the year for me. And then if I said, if nothing else gets better than this, it's probably going to be in my number one spot, if not like 2 or 3, because something else had come out before that was in my number one spot. And then the second half of the year happened, where like all were my favorite movies. So my honorable mention goes to 2, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. I said literally described as my number one movie of the year right now and the best final chapter in a decades-long franchise since Avengers Endgame. Received high praise for being well executed and earning its ending. The other one, there's a few of these. Him expressed strong enthusiasm, calling it a total mindfuck and noting it was definitely in my top 5 of the year due to its surreal themes despite its flaws. It's now an honorable mention. The Smashing Machine highly commended Dwayne Johnson's performance, which was deemed exceptional and worthy of an Oscar nomination, described as a good movie despite its tendency to meander. And Working Man. At the time, I don't know if it's on your list or not, right? You don't have to tell me now.
It's not, so go for it.
It was your second favorite movie of the year at the time that we saw it. and I said it was a possible top 10 candidate and was successful in being exactly what it was meant to be. So I just wanted to share that. Okay. I think there was something else I was going to share with you guys, but doesn't matter. My number 10 is Avatar Fire and Ash. I make my top 10 based on, I think, a combination of what is the best made and the movie I most enjoyed. So the number one movie is the one that I most enjoyed and was the best made. The one at the bottom is the one that I most enjoyed, but of the other 10, the other 9 was the least made amongst them, which I think is a good description of Avatar Fire and Ash. We just talked about this. I don't want to relitigate that discussion. If you'd like to hear Robert yell at me and tell me why I'm wrong, listen to the 2-hour podcast. But
I tell him he's wrong a lot on that episode.
it's a fucking fire hose. But I had an ear-to-ear smile for like the last third of that movie. I was really having a good time. When I think about like final chapters, and besides apparently Mission Impossible, if I have an emotional feeling like I had with Endgame or with The Return of the King, it's hard for me to separate that out. I can't make it in my top 5, or especially my number 1, because it's not as well made as those movies. But boy, did I really, really enjoy this one. If I was a child and only rated these on enjoyment level, it would be like, it would be probably number 1 or 2. Alexis, you're up.
Number 9 is Zootopia 2. Absolutely gorgeous animation. Really enjoyed the work of all the actors.
Hang on, pause. I keep forgetting what it was I wanted to say. If we say a movie that is on somebody else's list in their top 10, we are not repeating it. That's a rule from last year. It's a rule I picked up from the Movies Don't Suck guy. So if your number 9 movie is someone's number 1, we talk about it now and forever hold your peace.
All right. I would assume after I'm done talking, then if one of you has Zootopia 2, you're allowed to jump in and say, that was my number whatever.
We don't, but yes.
Okay. No, the writing was good. The actors all have unbelievable chemistry. We make fun of Disney for playing it safe with their sequels, but it's clear they put a lot of work into this, and I greatly enjoyed it, and I've highly recommended it for families, not just for people with little kids, even though, children are going to enjoy it.
All right, great. Robert, you're up.
Number 9 for me, 28 years later.
Oh,
this movie is here based almost entirely on the strength of the first act, more than the finale, to be sure. But I needed to fill this out. I needed to fill a slot, and I really enjoyed the first half, give or take, of that movie. It expands the world in, I think, ways that make sense. There's some decent action. There's some really tense chase scenes. There's some really, really gorgeous cinematography and shot work. The fact that they shot that scene of them running across the flat water with the night sky in the background on basically an iPhone, and it looks as good as it does, is a miracle.
It's amazing the amount of people talking about how iPhones are replacing cameras in certain situations, like on like real movies, not documentaries or like shot films.
They're absolutely getting there. Also, of course, a big shout out to Ray Fiennes for being just a god tier actor.
Mm-hmm.
So this does sneak in. There's a few movies that Mark and I are going to be reviewing a little bit later in preparation for the Oscars that I haven't seen yet, that I imagine would easily push this one out. This would be a very easy replacement on my list, but I needed a 9th spot, and it qualified.
Okay, well, so far we haven't repeated anything, which is pretty cool. I think we might hear, though. My number 9 is Warfare. That
is my 7.
Warfare is an exceptionally made movie. We talked about this a lot. It was myself, Robert, and Dorian before he quit and went back to his home planet. You can tell him I said that.
I will.
But I'm sure I'm going to get a phone call. I'm sorry. But Warfare is one of those rare movies where they captured a lot of realism. They were able to keep the narrative flowing. I don't think we had very many criticisms at all. I mean, and like because we're us, whatever criticisms we had were not even so much nitpicks. It was just kind of talking about different elements of the craft. Like maybe I might have changed this or made this a little bit better. But as it is, judging it on what was presented, pretty perfect. It's just a very intense movie. So it's not that I didn't enjoy it. I don't think it's meant to be like enjoyed in the Avatar Fire and Ash sense. It is meant to be appreciated. And I think people are, because I haven't heard much Oscar buzz on it. I think people are struggling for that. When it came out, it got a lot of negative press because it's a rough movie to appreciate depending on your sensibilities. But it is exceptional, and if you can stand 2 hours of gunfire and a lot of the same looking guys screaming, many of which get dismembered, it is a movie that I think everyone should watch if you can stomach it.
I'm just gonna repeat a lot of that. It's very well made. Zero soundtrack. It lets the gunfire and the ambient sound take care of the mood and kind of be the pulse of heartbeat of what's going on. Presented in real time, so this lasted 90 minutes. We're there for 90 minutes. Well acted, well shot. I don't know how well it would translate to the home viewing experience because this is a film that's meant to be experiential as much as it is just observational. You go and they do everything they can to put you in the feeling of being in that kind of a firefight, and they got as close as I think you can reasonably do so and still be a movie instead of a strap on a VR headset and go do there's a Dan Carlin who does the hardcore history thing, was for a while touring with a World War One like VR simulator. So if you want to know what it was like to be shelled, you could figure that out, and it would mess people up because that's a horrible thing.
Yeah.
But this is, again, in that same kind of vein. I very much enjoyed it. Again, it's my number 7, so yeah, no complaints there.
All right, go ahead, Alexis.
Number 8, waiting for the eye roll. K-pop Demon Hunters.
Also my number 8.
It is on everyone's top 10 list. I'm not gonna fault you for liking a movie that everyone else did.
The minute when I first saw the title, I was like, yeah, that sounds unbelievably stupid. But then I saw a ton of people in my circles talking about how great it was. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. Animation, amazing. Story, great. Music, I am not a pop fan by any stretch, never have been. But those songs have been in my head rent-free since the first time I watched it. Golden, Soda Pop, Your Idol. There's a reason these things are like charting heavily on Spotify. It is that good. Absolutely loved it. And I'm loving even more that this is a film that multiple studios passed on. Netflix got it. It has made them so much money. And now we're looking at all the studios going, so how can we do this? And they are taking all the wrong lessons from K-pop Demon Hunters to try to copy the success. And it just makes me laugh so hard. This is a great movie. And I'm still hedging my bets that Golden will probably win Best Original Song at the Oscars.
It should in the competition.
You know who also like K-pop Demon Hunters? The Critical Drinker. So,
it's my number 8 too. Like,
yeah, it's that good. And if you want to hear more, David Wright and I reviewed it some time ago. Had a lot of fun discussing it.
It's again, the music is what it's supposed to be. I loathe Soda Pop because it is dude. We're all about the same age. We remember when those were unironically a thing.
Oh yeah,
those kinds of songs.
No, but it will get stuck in your head still.
It gave me that nails on a chalkboard feeling, and I have to just applaud it because it meant to do it.
Oh, you didn't start going like this, Robert? You didn't start doing the little Soda Pop dance?
No, I don't dance.
He dances for no man. All right, so that was your number 8?
That was my number 8.
I'm about to fuck up Alexis's night because this is her number 1. Sinners!
It's my number 2.
I was close. Look, Sinners is great. Do I think it should win Best Picture? No. Am I okay with it being nominated? Yeah, I guess, depending on what else gets nominated. I think it's. I said this when we talked about it with Gavin. Um, I had some complaints about it. That's why it's not higher on my list. There are some structural and pacing issues I have with the movie, and they can't be ignored. They are major issues. They actively detract from the movie. But judging what's there as opposed to what could have made it better, or what's wrong with it, the acting's great. The music is. This is going to be another like subjective thing. I love that kind of music, and if you like that kind of music, most people will like this movie. If you don't, it's kind of like Luke Cage, where after a while you're just like, shoot me, I can't get through this show. I hate this music.
I don't need to watch a 5-minute performance of Hail to the Chief while Mahershala Ali looks down from a
That's my
glass
favorite
box.
moment in Luke Cage, you bastard. But hail to the chief. But seriously, great music. I think in terms of like an epic film, I think it earned its runtime. Could it have been made shorter and tighter? But again, pacing and structural issues, like I said. As it's presented, well acted, cinematography is great, music's great. Story is whatever. The story is like the weakest part of it. Like if it gets a nomination for screenplay, I'm gonna have to hit somebody. But everything else kind of around it, and like all of the other craft elements elevate that screenplay. Because without it, if you just kind of like gave it to, Bryan Singer or somebody, you're like, this isn't nearly as good. All right, number 7, Alexis.
Like I said, Sinners is my number 2. Agree with you on all those parts. The music, absolutely amazing. Cinematography, breathtaking. Michael B. Jordan, career-making performance. I want to see him walk away with the Best Actor award for playing the twins. Okay. Number 7.
I just want to see him walk away.
Number 7.
The Monkey.
That is my number 5.
And another one's gone, and another one's gone, another
one bites the dust. And that's an appropriate song for this movie too. I remember explaining to a friend, it's like Final Destination, but you're allowed to laugh at how over the top the deaths gets. We had so much fun reviewing it. This is one of those. Every year we have a movie that I love to show my friends. I'm like, oh my God, you haven't seen this. You have to see this. And it's the movie that I end up insisting everyone watch. And there was actually a couple of those this year, but The Monkey was definitely one of them. I've shown that to all my friends, and I love watching their reactions when the various out of nowhere deaths happen, and they're just like, whoa, what the hell? And it's another phenomenal directing job from Osgood Perkins. Can't wait to see more of his stuff. So I absolutely loved it. My list is actually like 90% horror movies. This was a pinnacle year for horror films.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say your guys' list will probably be closer to each other's than mine, only because you guys saw a lot of the same movies that I did not see. The Monkey being one of them.
You'll have a good time with The Monkey when you get around to seeing it. The more I've sat with The Monkey, the more it's kind of just stuck in the back of my head all year. The sense of humor inherent in the mean-spirited violence is just something you kind of have to buy into when you go into it. But once you buy into that, it's a lot of fun. The emotional core, especially about like the father-son dynamic and generational relationships like that, is a really nice grounding.
The way it looks at shared trauma and the way we hold on to our trauma and identify with it is an amazing, I actually brought that up to my family over Christmas dinner because we were talking about our favorite movies. Mm-hmm. And I mentioned that. Now, my family are not horror fans, and they're not going to watch The Monkey. But when I talked about how Osgood Perkins identified grief and trauma that he had suffered and discussed how in the end you realize it is not just yours. Mm-hmm. Others share it. They were intrigued. My family's like, wow, that's actually really deep. They wanted to hear more about it. But like I said, they're not going to see the movie. So
yeah, really good. If you haven't seen The Monkey, definitely make some time to go do so. It will, as long as you're not horribly off-put by over-the-top, almost, again, comical violence.
It gets a little cartoony.
We described it as like a really mean Looney Tunes cartoon in there's sequences that like Boy, if Bugs Bunny were doing this to Daffy Duck, we'd be in stitches. But it's a person doing it to another person. So we're a little bit awkward. So the second time I watched it, I just laughed my ass off through the whole thing. It was great.
All right, you're up. Number whatever you're up to.
7.
My 7 was Warfare. Keep moving.
Okay. Then my 7 is Springsteen. Deliver Me from Nowhere.
Deliver me from that movie.
I'll tell you, I did the TikTok I did on it, saying that the boss has no audience. Who the hell was this made for? One of my more popular TikToks. Also, lots of people fighting in the comments. I think Jeremy, what's his nuts?
Alan White.
Thank you.
The
Did a
bear.
really great job with it. I think when we talked about it, definitely kind of like Warfare and Sinners, there were some screenplay issues, some pacing issues that we talked about, but for the most part, I had a good time. Kids had a good time with it. I think one of the things I talked about with the movie was I wish it had discussed more of what was haunting Bruce. That gets a little lost, but credit where credit's due. For what it handled, I thought it handled well. I just wish it had done more of it.
But Mark, every bit of generic growing up hard is now generational trauma that leads to nothing but depression and suicidality.
Or you become one of the highest selling artists in the history of music. One of the two. So is it as good as, and I said this on the review at the time, is it as good as A Complete Unknown? No, but there is nothing as good as A Complete Unknown this year in that type of way. So, and I haven't seen Song Sung Blue yet. So yeah, I love.
Which isn't even about Neil Diamond. So
I know, and I'm really disappointed about that. But I really enjoyed Springsteen Deliver Me from Nowhere. So I'm going to assume it's not on either one of your lists.
Yeah.
It's on my to-do list. That was the film that I held off on seeing because I've mentioned my dad before. He's a classically trained musician. I wanted to go see A Complete Unknown with him, but I had to binge it for the Oscars podcast. And I kept putting off Springsteen. It's like, oh, I want to take my dad to see that. And the idea of my father and I both having a time when we both are free to go to the movies is just beyond laughable. So never got a chance to see it.
Number 6.
Number 6 is The Long Walk.
I knew that was going to be on both of your lists.
It's not on my list.
Oh,
You're kidding me.
I'm genuinely surprised by that. So why is it on your list, Alexis?
It was one of the last cuts, for the record.
Oh, this is one of the films I walked out and I said, 1, I need to see this again, and 2, this is definitely going on my list. In fact, this in number 5, I have flip-flopped like crazy, which one of these goes in the top 5 and which one of these is number 6. So, and I'll get to top 5 when we get there. This is one of the best adaptations of Stephen King's work I have ever seen. It's powerful. It's so well done. I mean, it's just boys walking. And in lesser hands, this would have been such a trite, boring movie. And it is so good. The actors are incredible. I still can't believe that the lead is Philip Seymour Hoffman's son. And he is incredible in this. Mark Hamill, again, brings so much power as the general, just this authority figure who's watching them the whole time. And again, it's like this, any other director, this would have been loaded with flashbacks. It would have destroyed the pacing, or they wouldn't have been able to it would have been more exposition dump that doesn't actually give character to these boys. It would have just been, it would have been Stephen Sommers level of that's just plot padding. That's not actual character development. That's just plot padding. I love this film so much. Again, called it my best. I went to go see it with my husband. We loved it. And the minute I got out, I actually called my best friend, like, okay, I want to see this again. And I want to take you because I know you're going to love it. So beyond brilliant film.
Number 6, Robert.
My number 6, F1.
Yeah, that's probably another honorable mention for me.
Somehow we arrived at a place where only this director seems to understand how to make movies for middle-aged guys. Everyone else is chasing the terminally arrested developmental people who they want to keep 12 emotionally and intellectually forever. And this is just a really good, solid throwback to what these kinds of movies used to get 3 a year, kind of on average.
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing here that's poisoned with cynicism. There's nothing here that's overly adapted for a modern audience. It's just a really well executed edition of grizzled old veteran in a sports movie. Helps the young up and coming guy while doing a solid for his old friend, and one last ride through whatever the incarnation is.
We heaped a lot of praise on it during that triple feature. Then again, we also compared it to fucking Magazine Dreams and Queen of the Ring. So, yeah.
Yeah, those were nothing. Really good score for F1. The overall sound design is tremendous. It's not perfect, but I felt very confident throwing it here at number 6.
My number 6 is Companion. I loved it. I loved what it talked about. It fell out of my top 5 because other stuff moved ahead of it. But I thought it was great acting. This is one of the few I did not complain a whole hell of a lot about, if I remember correctly. The subject matter is very appealing to me, the way it was handled. I think this is one of those movies that people don't get. It also came out like around Valentine's Day, but it's talking about AI and sex robots and and man's inhumanity to man acted out on the thing that can't defend itself.
I think the other thing that hindered it was marketed as a horror movie, and about half was marketed as a horror movie, and it's only about a third a horror movie. The other two-thirds is more serious sci-fi.
It was marketed as a horror movie in the way that Deadpool was marketed as like a romance movie. Like if you'll remember, Deadpool came out. Robert, if you'll remember,
I remember the marketing for Deadpool.
Yeah, that's why February is officially no longer where you send movies to die.
Okay, follow me, both of you, and I'll say this quickly because I don't want to spend the next hour debating Deadpool when doing other stuff. There was a select part of the marketing campaign where like Deadpool was a date night movie, and there was like candles, and it just shows Ryan Reynolds and Marina Baccarin, and it looks like to the average person like this is a romance movie, and only and if it's fucking Deadpool. And that's what I mean. In the run up to Companion, there was a lot of like, take your date to the most romantic movie of the year. And they're playing the fucking, I think it's the Everly Brothers. And the song from Ghost. And the Righteous Brothers, sorry. And, and then the camera pans down and she's fucking chained to the seat. And or like her hand's on fire or some shit. That's what I meant by that. Either way, I loved Companion, still do. That movie is got high rewatchability for me. All right. That brings us to our bottom 5. This is always fun.
Here we're going to have almost universal overlap for the record.
You guys, since I am not doing the bottom 5, you guys go ahead and get started. I'm going to go grab a drink.
All right. Sounds great. All right. I'll just go first. I'll keep going and then we'll just go
by all means, Mark. Number 5.
Snow White. What else?
You're a pansy. You're an absolute coward.
What the fuck? I have 4 of the movies I thought was worse than this one.
That's my number 1 for the record. That was the worst thing I saw.
You're insinuating I did this for crowd approval or for clout, and you couldn't be more wrong. Okay, please don't tell me. You're not my wife. Please stop telling me what's in my own brain. Okay, Melissa?
Look, I'm just saying you're trying to get all the TikTok people.
I'm not trying to do it. It's good fucking
all right, go ahead. Just for the record, that means that like 4 of my things are going to start knocking yours down now. You played a poor game here, my man.
I don't think Snow White's the worst movie of the year. That comes in a little bit.
It is, but I'll explain why after you do. It's okay.
Look, despite the false allegations made against me by one Robert Winfrey,
not false, but unfalsifiable. There's a difference.
Every decision made with this movie was poor, and the quality of this movie was laughable. Rachel Ziegler may never recover. Poor gal. And that's some of it's a self-inflicted wound. Like it's like Gal Gadot also was bad in this, but Gal Gadot handled it like an adult, and she's still gonna be in stuff. She'll be fine. It's just garbage. It is an absolute garbage fire. There are some movies where people like it's like the worst movie of the year, and I look at it, I'm like, come on. Fucking Snow White deserves to be on this list. It was almost universally reviled, unless you are somebody who doesn't really watch movies and doesn't think about them all that hard, and you liked the pretty girls and the colors and
There weren't
So-
even all that many pretty girls.
and well, I mean, Gal Gadot's pretty, and fucking Rachel Zegler's pretty.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, you're number 5, sir.
Well, let me. Do you want me to? So, do I get to review Snow White when we get to number 1, or do you want me to just do it now?
Oh no, do it now. We'll do it the same way we've
Okay.
been doing it.
Here's why Snow White is the worst movie of the year.
Can you do it in 2 minutes?
Snow White's the worst movie of the year because it is one of the most godforsaken, horribly conceived, eldritch abominations ever released onto the cinema. I have seen, honest to God, horror monsters less unnerving than the dwarves were in this movie. This movie is a horrifying concoction of let's do everything for the mythical modern audience meets, oh boy, everyone hates this. Let's desperately spend the budget again instead of sending all that money to Panama. And we will instead reshoot this. We'll add the dwarves in. See, people, the dwarves are here. They're not an out-of-work acting troupe that's going to be shoehorned into every scene. But because we paid all those people, they're still going to get screen time. And part of our entire climax involves one of them getting a big hero moment after he's been on screen for less than 2 minutes of overall runtime at this point.
I just want to speak to that. It was like trying to prepare a Michelin star dish, like a fine dining dish, and you're having a random selection of people keep tasting it, and based on that one taste, you keep changing things to the point where whatever it was you intended to make now looks nothing like what you thought it was going to be, and it's full of things that don't match, and it's horrible, and nobody wants this.
Somehow every musical number is awful, which of all the things you'd think. But no, it's awful. This movie was so bad, it actually got Disney to rethink its strategy about live action remakes. Think about it just for 1 second. The amount of the mountains of crap that these people have plowed through like Laura Dern, just trying to get through and find evidence in the piles of Triceratops shit. But this made them stop and go, how about we rethink this?
It killed Black Rapunzel and like 2 or 3 other movies that weren't that far into development yet. Like
it would have killed everything if not for Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
Another reason to hate Lilo and Stitch, which would have been on my worst of list if I'd seen it.
It killed Black Rapunzel, and what I mean by that is they were gonna cast the lead actress as another, like they did with Ariel, another black chick, which is I'm not gonna even speak to that one way or the other. I'm saying that's what happened. But the other movies hadn't gotten to the point where they were going to race swap the lead, and they were already killed. They were like we're not doing live action remakes anymore for a while. It killed that particular golden goose. The golden goose that gave him Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, and God help me, The Lion King.
Yeah, so for everything that went on involved in that movie, I can't say one positive thing about Snow White. Not one. And not only is it bad, again, what it did to everything as a result of its release is why I think it is the worst movie of the year. It almost deserves its own category for what it did.
Okay, Robert, so now that I've had a chance to think about it, I'm going to say this, and you kind of have to accept it because it's a subjective thing, and all you can do is roll your eyes.
Okay.
And because this is a thing with every show, be disappointed in me.
All right.
It's Snow White of the 5 movies that are going to be on the list is the only one that I actually kind of enjoyed.
Yep, I'm disappointed in you. So my number 5,
Yes.
I'll move on from there. My number 5 is Tron Ares. This
really?
bloated, terrible looking, unfunny, uninteresting, unserious, but too serious, bizarre decision to try and resurrect this franchise that shouldn't be a franchise to begin with. Jared Leto as your lead is a death sentence as a starting proposition.
Can't wait for Masters of the Universe.
Then we follow that up with, let's make this poor Chinese lady, who's a decent actress in the right context, run against a green screen while telling her she's the key to everything. Bake in some bizarre 80s nostalgia that doesn't work. Factor in the worst technobabble this side of modern Star Trek. And this abomination deserves to be forgotten. This killed any future attempts at doing anything in the Tron universe. Thank God. We are all pointing and laughing at Disney still, everybody, for the record.
Number 4, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle remake. We talked
Almost made my list.
talked about this on the on trial where we compared it to the original. It's so bad my girlfriend fell asleep on that podcast. And inspired another Fra Diavolo song. It's just fucking again, every decision going into making this movie was fucking awful.
Yep.
It is such a misfire. It's such a misunderstanding of what made the first one good. It's just, and again, I'm just gonna keep beating this one drum. I enjoyed it less than Snow White. Snow White, I actually had a fun time laughing at. This was a fucking chore to get through. I might have had on sports, TikTok, and banging my girlfriend while I watched this just to keep myself vaguely interested. It's that bad. Number 4, Robert.
Number 4 is Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Ah, it's my number 1, you white devil, you.
You played a poor game, my friend. That's all I can say.
Fucking inverted is what we did.
Look, this almost was higher on my list until I looked at the top 3, like my worst 3, and went, I can't do it. I can't say this was worse than those other ones. You could argue it, maybe, but the others also had like these outsized effects on everything rather than just being looked at in isolation. In isolation, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 would be higher. This is a terrible attempt to cash in on a franchise and a long-suffering group of fans. It's badly written, it's badly acted, it's badly executed. It's not scary, it's not funny, it's not interesting, it's slow, it's boring, it's pedantic. To the extent that you get anything even marginally approaching creepy imagery is a happy accident. And it ends on the dumbest possible note.
Yeah. Again, it's my number 1 because I didn't go to see too many like there's movies I've slept through, there's movies that I was bored by. I didn't actively hate anything I saw. That would include Snow White. I hated this movie so much there were flames on the side of my face heaving and seething. It is that fucking bad. Number 3. Star Trek.
Oh, sorry. You're going to 3.
Yeah. Star Trek Section 31.
Didn't see it. Happy I didn't.
It is the worst fucking thing in the history of Star Trek. That would include Discovery, which I haven't seen. But I at least know people enjoyed that one. I haven't talked to a single person who liked Section 31. Not a one. Section 31 is so bad. Stop making Star Trek anything. But
Academy's coming out, Mark. It's the Star Trek of CW.
Yeah, it's the fucking like 90210 Starfleet. Yeah, Star Trek Section 31 is ugly, poorly written, badly acted. The plot's stupid. It's boring. It's as high as it is on my list because I hated watching the experience of watching it. I actually fucking hated. I was like, why did I do this to myself? I'm glad I didn't make anyone review it with me. Like, it didn't end up in a triple feature or anything. I just kind of watched it because I out of curiosity. And I was like, I watched a lot of movies either for podcasts or just to do it this year, trying to keep up on everything. A mistake I will not make again next year. And this is part of the reason why I don't want to keep watching garbage. Like, I'm willing to take a flyer on certain things. I'm not force feeding myself slop anymore. Number 3, Robert.
Number 3 is The Electric State.
That's an honorable mention for me.
This bloated, meandering, stupid, ugly, self-important piece of crap.
Was that another Mark and Robert hate fuck?
Pretty much.
Yeah. I don't remember saying a single good thing about that movie.
Everything about it's bad.
I think I said it was in focus.
That's about the only positive thing you can say. You took a source material that should have been like melancholic, borderline bleak, introspective, and moody, and turned it into the worst adaptation of the worst parts of Star Wars. You made Chris Pratt look like not Chris Pratt, and then told him do Star-Lord if Star-Lord was impersonating Han Solo. That's all you got out of this. And because it's on Netflix, here's Millie Bobby Brown.
How does Millie Bobby Brown look 20, 10, and 50 all at the same time? What a fucking feat she pulls off.
This movie was so bad and so badly received, it killed the Russo brothers' ability to do stuff on Netflix. And now they're walking back things they said just 18 months ago about the theatrical experience being an antiquated one, because now they're trying to get people to pay money to revive the MCU. This killed them. It should have killed them. It should kill their careers dead when Doomsday flops.
Speaking of flopping, The only reason why this isn't number one is because I didn't hate it. I didn't hate watching it nearly as much as I hated watching Five Nights at Freddy's. It's by far. This is why like you're fucking yelling at me like a psychopath about Snow White, a crazy person. But you have to understand what I'm about to tell you is absolutely bar none the worst movie of the year. It is the most incompetent thing ever captured on screen. It is basically a commercial for Amazon Prime. That's
You
all.
and I have this at exactly the same spot.
It is essential. It's the last one I'm going to talk about because we've already talked about Five Nights at Freddy's. It is exactly what everyone has said about it. It is the worst fucking movie of this year. The only difference is I had a good time laughing at it with the lady I was hanging out with. And I had a good time talking about it with you and Gavin making fun of it. But outside of that, it is bar none the worst movie of this year. One of the worst movies ever made. War of the Worlds. Oh God. I can't believe this was it almost felt like it was done on purpose, like in a producer's bit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Alexis,
this
by
feels
like
an Adam
I felt like I did it on
money
wrong.
laundering.
What I don't understand. I did everything wrong. How did this make money? Like that kind of thing. Like this has to have been a fucking bet or a dare or like somebody trying to get themselves like out of the fucking movie industry. There's no way I accept everyone went into this thing. And I know I said on the podcast, like I think everyone like genuinely tried. Somebody in charge of like making this had to have known how bad this was and was like, do it anyway. I want to hurt someone. Your thoughts?
If this were if I were to put the combination of worst movie with laziest movie, this would have been number one by a mile.
Mm-hmm.
It's so lazy that a giant chunk of it is literally stock footage. That's why there's people just walking and the cars are driving at normal speed during our landscape shots, because they just have stock footage of people driving around in the city in question. And everyone's behaving normally in the stock footage because it's stock footage. And then in the background is an alien menace. It is stupid. Nothing about it makes sense. Nothing about it is well acted. It's badly written. The concept is stupid. It's lazy. Everyone involved in this should be publicly flogged. And again, the only reason I put Snow White higher is because Snow White wound up having an industry-wide impact crater. This piece of crap just annoyed every poor sap who decided to waste 10 minutes watching it. And if you wasted more time than that watching it, I feel so bad for you. I hope you were paid to review it.
All right. Well, I wanted to get this in an hour, so I'm not saying step on it. But Alexis, number 5.
Number 5 was Companion.
Great. My number. Okay, you're up, Robert.
My number 5 was The Monkey.
Great. Jay Kelly, loved it. Robert and I just had a podcast on it. I'm not going to say everything is in. Jay Kelly is worth a watch. I know Robert had his issues with it. I think those are valid issues. I think those are valid issues. However, if you don't carry some of the prejudices that Robert did into that movie, I think you'll see it the way that I saw it. Wonderfully acted, beautifully shot, highly resonant. Would have been higher, except the 4 ones were made better than Jay Kelly. Number 4.
Number 4, Weapons.
That's my number 3.
Yeah, not surprised that one's on your list.
Yeah. Again, Robert and Jason and I did a review of this, and all 3 of us just praised this film. This is one of the most interesting horror films that I think we have seen in ages. It was so well done. It's impressive.
It's getting Oscar buzz.
Yeah.
It should.
It definitely should. If Amy Madigan alone doesn't get a Best Supporting Actor nominee for Gladys, I'm going to be shocked, because she is genuinely terrifying in this role. You sit through this whole film just on the edge of your seat, wondering what is going to happen. The nonlinear storytelling is genius, how well it works for that. The characters are all incredible. Josh Brolin gives, I would say, one of the best of his career.
It's up there.
Absolutely. And it's just so fascinating that this is his second film. You know, we talked about Companion and how that was the directorial debut. This is from the guy who did Barbarian, and this is only his second movie. And it was, the script alone was so good that he was able to command like all these demanding notes for getting roles. He's like, okay, so if you want it, then I get this and I get this and this. And it's like, yeah. And it was that good. And it's especially hilarious when you find out that Jordan Peele apparently threw one hell of a bitch fit that he didn't get the rights to it because he was in part of the bidding war for that.
Okay.
Well, if only he could, make an interesting movie that isn't about how white people are bad. He could make his own thing, but it's Jordan Peele, so he can't.
Robert.
Anyway, my 2 cents on Weapons. Loved it. One of the most tension-riddled films that I've seen in a while. This movie gets a lot of mileage out of deep focus, out of stuff in the background being off, and then it suddenly comes up and smacks you in the face. The intertwining narratives was a really, really good way to go about this, about structuring this. And ultimately, I'm aware that the reveal of what actually happened was divisive to people, but it's been so long since we've had a good hag story that I was just ready to go I was just on for the ride at that point. Like, you know what? Yeah, I'm down. I'm down for the Wicked Witch of the West comes to town.
What's your actual number 4?
My number 4 is Train Dreams, which
Good.
Mark and I reviewed not too long ago on the same show as Jay Kelly.
Though both those are on my to-do list.
I'm going to warn you, Train Dreams is a little slow, but it's worth a watch. Go ahead.
Very just kind of moody, meditative, inspired, a lot of just kind of the right emotional response, well acted. Very Terrence Malick-esque in terms of the sort of dreamlike quality that it's able to evoke. And a movie that is utterly devoid of cynicism, irony, or bathos. And given that that's 90% of what gets released nowadays is poisoned by those and dressed up in the other, this was like this was like medicine for my soul as far as my enjoyment of cinema. It's frankly, if you ask me about the same list, like in 3 more weeks, it'll probably be higher than it is right now.
All right, my number 4 is Hamnet. 2 things I want to say before I even get into talking about Hamnet.
I imagine this will be on my list after I see it. If I had,
I'm thinking that I was going to say there's a nice long list. It's like haven't had a chance to see it yet, and Train Dreams, Jay Kelly, and Hamnet are on that.
It would have been higher if I personally enjoyed it more. It is one of the best movies made this year. It based strictly on craft. It's a number 1 or number 2. Based on personal enjoyment, just knocked it a little bit lower. Not since. Oh gosh, what was the Mexican movie Day of the Dead? Thank you. Not since Coco has a movie made both my daughter and I migraine cry at the end of it. Yeah, my son. I don't understand this movie. What was the point of this? My daughter and I, inconsolable. So make of that what you will. My second thought, and when people ask me like what like how Hamnet is, I'm like, remember that bit in American Dad where Tearjerker makes the saddest movie ever? It's like the people cry themselves to death. It's like somebody saw that and went, "Hold my beer," and proceeded to make that movie. Hamnet is fucking rough. I loved it. It's really good. It is exceptionally made. Another thing I'm going to say about this, and then we'll go to number 3 for time's sake. The thing that the movie does better than any movie I've seen in quite some time is it remembers the period that it's in and treats the actors like they're living in that period. Because all too often, people make period movies and people act like they do now.
Yeah.
They may be speaking in what people think people spoke like in antiquity, but their mannerisms, their values, the way that they talk about things, all modern tropes because people don't know how to write outside of themselves in Hollywood these days. Well, between Chloe Zhao and whoever fucking wrote this, and I guess whatever the source material it was based on, it was a book, exceptional. You are there, you are at that time, and the woman, the wife character, when you see what I saw in that final third of the movie behaving the way that she does, and you remember who she is, what time this is, and where she's at when this is happening, you're like spot fucking on. It's like, well, it's like I have not had a time machine experience in a really long time where somebody brought me back to that time and I'm like, that's how it would have been. I feel like I'm there. Hamnet is wonderful. Just an absolute, it's kind of Robert's Train Dreams, where it reminded me how good cinema can be. Number 3, Alexis.
Here comes the part where Robert hates me. Superman.
So, Robert, go
That
on,
was not
sweetie.
me.
Really?
Go on, sweetie. Extol us with the virtues of punk rock Superman.
James Gunn's Superman by James Gunn.
Yeah, you guys know how much I love James Gunn and how much I love his work, how I think he's one of the best writers in Hollywood and has been for quite some time. This is a movie that I was really excited for. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was the true pinnacle of what a Superman movie should be. Because with Zack Snyder's Superman, he seemed to be obsessed with saying that Superman was not a man, but a god. James Gunn said, no, Superman is not a god. He is a man. He is one of us. And that is personally the story arc that I have always enjoyed with the character. I don't like this whole, he is a god amongst us. No, he makes the same mistakes. He is just like us. He was raised on Earth. He is not above human. And I love that. I also still maintain Nicholas Hoult, best live action on screen Lex Luthor ever. I watched this again the other night while I was working on orders, and it still floored me how good he was. I love all the background elements. It's easy not to get lost in that. It's one of those cases of, okay, they actually did their homework with the story elements, with all of the little extra nods to those of us who read the comic books, but it doesn't turn into one of those, well, if you have to read the comics to get it, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I am still very much so looking forward to what we get next, assuming Netflix doesn't gut the DCU. I'm
Once
very much
Supergirl bombs, they will, but
oh,
until
fuck
then.
off. I am looking forward to that, okay? I have been reading Woman of Tomorrow. I'm a big fan of Tom King's work. He's one of my favorite comic book authors.
It's on the list of things to do for source material next year.
I'm in. I'll talk to Jesse. So I am very much so looking forward to it. Should also add that if I was doing my top 5 TV shows of the year, Creature Commandos, which Gunn also wrote, would definitely have been on it. That was a really fun show that Jason and I reviewed. And I stand by James Gunn's vision for the DCU. I love what we've seen so far, and I am very much so looking forward to seeing it. With the MCU as prattling on as it is and floundering between not having a concrete vision and all of their concrete visions getting thrown out the window because they hired an actor who decided to get all pushy, punchy with a woman. Thank you,
And
Jonathan.
for some reason, they decided not to just recast the role.
There's that. It is great to see a new potential movie universe taking off on such solid ground.
Number
Such
3,
a
Robert.
shame. They all look and sound the same.
Oh my god.
All right, Robert's number 3, Thunderbolts. Just kidding. Robert.
I already did it. I already said it was weapons.
Moving on. My number 3 is Nanas. This is a straight to Netflix movie. Okay, horse. Whoa, Nelly. Nanas takes me back. Reminds me of my own Italian grandmother. I really like.
Vince
love
Vaughn
this
was your
movie.
Italian grandmother. Sorry.
The Italian grandmothers were my Italian grandmother. You nitty. I love this. I love the. As I get older, I especially love the idea of like preserving our traditions, preserving our cultural identities. I know that sort of thing gets looked down upon today as everyone tries to flatten and make everything the same, and yay socialism. So here's a movie that says no, that like identity matters, culture matters, traditions matter, rituals matter. I also, if you haven't seen it yet, Alexis, I think you should. You and I are both foodies. Nana's is really like a great celebration of old world Italian food, and something that if you don't teach it forward, it gets lost to time. if we don't teach people how to cook the way we used to cook, how to learn the way we used to learn, the stories that we used to tell ourselves, none of this stuff stays with us. And I think that's how we get ourselves as a culture into trouble. Nanas is a reminder of that very lesson. There's really the movie is kind of flawless. Like, I think it's simple and it's getting overlooked for its simplicity because of what it talks about. But what it talks about is so super important that it got that high on my list. Also, giant emotional attachment to it. Like, it's pretty perfect. There's really nothing wrong with it. It's just not exceptional. Like a Train Dreams, that kind of a thing. But it was one of the movies I enjoyed the most this year. It was like my number one for a while when I saw it. So Nana's just wonderful.
It's on Netflix. I watched it because Mark gushed about it, and I did not have his reaction to it, but I don't disagree with his assessment in general.
Thank you, Robert. All right, number two.
I'll take a look for it. My number 2 was Sinners.
Okay, Robert, number 2.
Frankenstein. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein is my
That's
number
my
2.
number 1.
Same teacher.
This is a wonderful reimagining of the Frankenstein mythos. It is very well shot. The commitment to practical effects is great. The acting is all great. The costuming is great. Del Toro had a really good handle on the material. I have my gripes with it. They are minor quibbles, all things considered. Feel free to listen to our review in that case. But Jacob Elordi should get many, many awards out of this, certainly nominations. Oscar Isaac was here to remind everyone that if he's not trying to be in a Disney movie, be that a Disney X-Men movie or a Disney Star Wars movie,
or a Disney Marvel TV series,
he's able to actually be a pretty decent actor. So he got to stretch his muscles there. Again, listen to our full review if you're interested in that. Almost no major complaints from me. In fact, this was nearly my number 1 until I sat down and I thought about it. And I just had to go, you know what? I have very few, very, 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 very few complaints about Frankenstein. But my number 1, I literally have none. And that was kind of the tiebreaker for me.
Frankenstein is exceptional. It is my number. I think last year, Robert, and maybe the year before, you're like, my number 1 and number 2 are kind of interchangeable. What day you ask me?
Yeah.
My number 1 beats my number 2 by a hair's breadth, and depending on if you ask me in a month from now, I might change my mind. But for right now, Frankenstein is the second movie that I enjoyed the most, was the most intelligently written, most competently crafted. It is an argument in favor of Netflix giving people money and letting them do what they want. You really have to be careful with that.
Same year, they also did The Electric State.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be careful with that and not treat it like, like a daycare center in Minneapolis. You can't just give everyone money. But
I would say between this and K-pop Demon Hunters, it's shown that Netflix does, for the most part. They've made mistakes, but for the most part, Netflix has really shown that they know how to invest in the right properties.
A lot of stuff that goes straight to Netflix, again, is people's passion project, and because Netflix isn't really a studio, it's a funding source and a distribution source. People can everyone's making their passion projects, and some of that works out well because it's like somebody is like, I have a real passion for this thing, and then they show it to you and you're like, this is the dumbest thing ever. And another person walks like, well, this is what I'm passionate about, and you see it, I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. I'm so glad my world is different now that you've exposed me to this. Same fucking thing, just one person's a dork and the other person's pretty cool. And that may change from person to person. I haven't seen too many people say The Electric State was amazing, but I'm sure there's some dope out there that thinks The Electric State's the height of fucking cinema and we're crazy. On the other hand, I have also seen people talk.
They did Star Wars at the end. No.
And let me just say this. There's a lot of people commenting right now about my number 1. It is wildly fucking not problematic. It's wildly polarizing. So again, Netflix kind of doling out checks and saying, go make stuff. Statistically, it's not all going to be great. It's just the way it is. Again, they gave George Lucas a pile of money and said, go make your trilogy, and look what he gave us. Fucking, autism in space. Speaking of autism in space, Alexis, your number 1.
My number 1 was Frankenstein.
Right. Did you want to say anything else about it in 2 minutes or less?
It is one of the few films that from the minute it was announced to the minute I saw it, it surpassed my expectations. Guillermo del Toro has long been one of my all-time favorite filmmakers. Finding out that he was getting into his wheelhouse, getting to adapt what is probably my favorite classic novel of all time, getting an all-star cast, his commitment, like Robert said, to practical effects, to big practical sets, just everything about this movie. This was one, again, it was released on Netflix, but they did do a very limited theatrical release. I have heard this is something Netflix is going to do more often with some of their bigger releases, that they're going to do very limited theatrical releases, because there's apparently
they have to say that now if they want to try and sell people on the idea of allowing them to buy Warner Brothers.
Well, it's also because when the trailer was dropped, everyone said, why the hell is this not going to theaters? This looks amazing. And yeah, when I found out it was going to be at a small theater here in Kansas City, I'm like, I am so buying my ticket. I'm so going. I was there and it looked amazing on the big screen. And I have watched it multiple times since. I still gush about it. It is easily my favorite movie of the year.
You're number one, Robert.
Number one. Because I could find nothing wrong with this movie, and it made me happy. It made me smile all the way through. I watched it in January about a year ago, and I said, I don't know that anything's going to beat this, because we only go January to December. We don't go on the awards calendar, which is a little bit different. And January to January, basically, I didn't see anything that I thought was significantly better than Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul.
Didn't that technically come? We reviewed that last year.
Released January. We reviewed it when it came out, but it released in January. But because of the Oscars calendar, the Oscars don't go January to December. The cutoff for nominations is into January, so it's a little bit different. It's not strictly released week to January 1st, 25 to December 31st, 25. That's the way we do it here. And that's why this one gets into my top spot here, because...
Stop. Vengeance Most Foul premiered worldwide on the closing day of the AFI Fest on the 27th of October at the Grauman's Chinese Theater in Hollywood, Los Angeles. A limited theatrical release on December 18th of 2024. It aired in the United Kingdom on BBC One on December 25th of 2024 and released outside of the UK on Netflix on January 3rd, 2025. That's the end of that discussion.
I was going to say,
that is the end of that discussion. Robert, why do you like this movie so much?
It is incredibly well written. The layers of humor in play are tremendous. I have a fair amount of nostalgia for the Wallace and Gromit stuff because they come out infrequently, but every time they do, it's great. They are, again, the opposite of all of the insecure, irony-dripping, bathos-poisoned movies that tend to get released nowadays. These are just delightful from start to finish. It's got a little thing to say about the need for human touch and in the era of automation, but it's not preachy. The final action sequence is great. The characters are all as great as they've ever been. It's funny. Feathers McGraw coming back was great, because who doesn't love the villainous penguin?
The shot of him petting the baby seal in the chair a la Blowfield is still going to be one of my favorite images.
The fact that they show him jump in the chair and turn it around just so he can then turn around and stroke the seal. Like, there's nothing at all bad about that movie, about any of these really, but this one in particular. It's all great. It made me feel the best, if we want to just go to that, out of any of these. And
I mean, I do it. Why can't you do it?
This was the best thing. You could swap this with Frankenstein if you really wanted to, and I wouldn't object. But I don't think I saw anything better than that Wallace and Gromit movie all year.
For the record, I would have included that. The thing is, I knew that came out in 2024. We did not review that until after we had done our best of. So it was a case of I couldn't throw it on last year's best of. But so it's kind of in like a limbo place for me. But I agree. It is a freaking phenomenal movie. It's pure.
So do you guys remember when Megan came out in fucking France?
Yep.
In the year prior, so it didn't count for the following year. I don't want to get that nitpicky on it. If it debuted on Netflix in fucking January and you want to include it in 2025, like, what are we doing here? Like the Olympics? Like we got to be that nitpicky about this shit?
I'm not saying that it's like, no, that doesn't belong on the list, because I am agreeing with Robert that if you are a fan at all of the Wallace and Gromit films and you have not seen Vengeance Most Foul, please go see it. It is so good. It has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. No one will say bad about it. Just like I said, I can't put it on my list for the technicality, but I applaud every reason Robert has it on his.
My number one movie of the year is Marty Supreme. I loved Marty Supreme. For the
that's why you said you wanted to fight me.
Yeah. Yup. For the TikTok people, I don't think you should act like Marty Supreme. I'm not holding the character up as a paragon of virtue, you psychos. This is an exceptionally well-made movie. This is exceptionally acted. Remember everything I said about Hamnet about people should act in the era in which the film takes place? 100 times that happens in this movie. I was focusing on the one woman's performance at the end of Hamnet, though she's good through the whole thing. That end performance in Hamnet is the entirety of Marty Supreme. It is fucking exceptional. I have been talking a lot this year about trauma that occurred, the trauma that the men came home with after World War II, and how that spread generationally across the United States from the greatest generation to the boomers to my generation, the second greatest generation, and the millennials on down. And if someone's thing was like, I want to talk about the mentality of people post World War II, but I want to focus on the guy that tried to play international ping pong, that would be my pitch for Marty Supreme. It is so human, so dramatic. Timothy Chalamet, we don't make stars anymore, but boy, is he an exceptional actor. Somebody made the point of saying anyone could have played Paul in Dune. Timothy Chalamet didn't really give a performance. Maybe. I'm not going to have that argument with somebody. If that's what you think, that's what you think. However, you shouldn't use his performance in Dune against him, because everything else Timothy Chalamet does, 110% full commitment. And he is so good as Marty in this. And everybody around him is good. It's like normally it's like you have like one guy and then everyone's like a deep second or third. Everybody is number one. This is what they used to say about like Broadway musicals, where it's like the entire cast is amazing. Like everybody in this is good. This is the kind of movie that Disney execs wish Marvel movies could become. Like this is the goal. This is what they want movies to ascend to. Like a movie like Doomsday I'm talking about, where you have this like enormous cast and like what a talented group of actors. Everybody should be amazing, and they aren't because Marvel movies are made for shit. And then there's Marty Supreme. It's like that's what that looks like when everybody is hitting their mark and their pitch. It's so great. It is an epic story. I watched it with my kids, and my daughter's reaction was, some of this made me uncomfortable. That would be typical for my daughter. My son was like, this is the best movie I've ever seen. So I will truck with no other opinions because the boy has said that it's the best movie he's ever seen. So that's the end of the discussion. Anyway, so Marty Supreme is phenomenal.
I took my mom to see that yesterday, and it was kind of funny because we walked out and she said, we both said we really enjoyed it. And she said, yeah, but that character was an asshole. And I said, yeah, I think this is a movie you're not supposed to root for the protagonist. She goes, no. Well, who are you supposed to root for? And I go, I don't know, karma?
You're kind of, you know how it ends. I don't want to give away the ending, but the ending is kind of what you're rooting for, is that he will somehow
alcoholism, Mark. That's who you root for in those kind of movies.
You're rooting that he'll get the plane out of the nosedive and try to be a better person, which the implication at the end of the movie is that he will try, which is all anyone can ask of us. Really quick. Oh,
by the way, you know that honeycomb story was apparently real?
Was it? So really quick, Alexis, I don't care about the trivia. I want to know 50 words or less. I mean, you just heard me gush about it. I forgot an hour ago you told me that you did see it. Just tell me what you thought of the movie, and then we got to move on.
One of Timothy Chalamet's absolute best. That again, you're hitting the nose on the head with that. You're hitting the nail on the head with him being a star. He has yet, I think, to turn in a bad performance. Even if you talk about Dune, it's like, yeah, he was still phenomenal in it. We can insult Wonka all we want, but he was incredible in that. Mm-hmm. And it is just fascinating to watch it. It's like, wow, this dude does not slum it in any of his acting. He goes after everything with every cell in his body.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating because it has been a long time since we've seen an actor just push themselves to that level. And it's great to see that it's this new, younger actor who is just leaving everyone else in the dust. He's gotten Oscar nominations for what, the past 4-5 years?
Okay, yes, and he deserves it for Marty Supreme. Your top 5 animated movies of the year, and then we got to do the money.
Well, unfortunately, that's going to be top 3. The fact is that what are widely being considered some of the best animated films of the year are film adaptations of anime. We got films for Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Demon Slayer. And I'm sorry, folks, I am so behind on my anime watching. I did not feel comfortable going to see those movies because I didn't know if I was going to be able to follow what was going on. So I am giving my notes to 3 animated films that came out this year that I stand by. One, again, I mentioned this in my honorable mentions, is Fixed. It is very juvenile humor, but it is funny. The voice acting is on par. I mean, freaking Idris Elba's in it, and he is hilarious as always. There's some really good humor, especially if you're a dog owner and you understand, like what your dogs would consider a great day, fun time. It's just really enjoyable. And like I mentioned, Genny Tartakovsky, one of my go-to favorite animators. His art style is breathtaking, and it was fun seeing him go from things like Primal and Samurai Jack, and now he's drawing dogs humping. It's just
wonderful. Number 2.
Fun. Number 2 is Zootopia 2. Again, we make fun of Disney for playing it safe with the sequels, but you know what? It's working for them. And Zootopia 2 was so much fun. I think the only complaint we had was just the crazy amount of voice actors. Just wow, you guys you just hired everyone, didn't you? I mean, for God's sakes, the anti-venom pen that goes it's shoot me directly into the heart. That's the voice actress who plays Moana.
Number 1.
K-pop Demon Hunters. Netflix,
right.
Again, you're doing something right.
All right, folks. Well, that was our top 10 and our bottom 5. Here comes the money.
We're in the money. We're in the money.
Alrighty. Well, there's no money for a particular movie to discuss, so we're just going to quickly go over the weekend, and then we'll go over the top 10 for the last time. We usually will revisit the top 10 for the previous year at the end of January, just to kind of see, because so much stuff comes out at the end of the year that the final numbers it's not fair to really judge them. But the number 1 weekend of the movie, once again, was Avatar. Zootopia, as I predicted it would, jump from 5 to 2 because the kids are out of school. Marty Supreme looks like it got a wider release.
Mm-hmm. A24, not surprising.
From 9 to 3. That would explain why it's also all over my TikTok. I've heard The Housemaid is good. That dropped from 3 to 4. Anaconda debuted at 5. Robert used his. I said this on Monday. Robert used his buy to get out of doing Anaconda, and I think we were all the better for it. So I still have to take my son to go see it because I am a good father.
You look, man. At that point, you're not doing it so you can review it. You're doing it as a family outing, and that's a better mentality to go into it with. You don't have to worry about it. And as soon as you get out of it, if you wish to decompress, you can always message me and say, "Boy, that sucked,"
Sure.
And I will commiserate with you.
All right. From the Christian movie studio, David dropped from 2 to 6. SpongeBob movie 4 to 7. Song Sung Blue debuted at 8. Oh, poor focus feature. Wicked for Good dropped from 7 to 9, and Five Nights at Freddy dropped from 6 to 10. No Other Choice debuted at 12. The Testament of Anne Lee 20. Father, Mother, Sister, Brother is a movie, which I only mentioned that because that's who gave us the substance. Debuted at 22. The Plague 23. And that was the weekend that was. You guys kibitz for a second. I'll be right back.
I did mention this before we started recording. I'm a little disappointed I didn't get to look at SpongeBob for the top 5 animated films. from what I've heard, if you are a fan of classic SpongeBob, it is pretty good. I'm a big fan of this. It's CGI, but it's a very stylized CGI that I think works well for adapting a 2D animated film. Mark Hamill doing the Flying Dutchman, I think, is just perfection. I just didn't have time to see it. It is on my to-do list. Probably going to try to catch a matinee here before too long. So it does look pretty good. I mean, I am like I said, I'm a fan of the first 3.5 seasons of SpongeBob, and then Hillenburg sadly had to walk away, and then everything else since then has gone downhill.
Somehow you have a worse ratio than The Simpsons for that, based on that, for the record. And I think the notion that The Simpsons died after season 10 is unsubstantiated by the evidence. It pretty clearly tanks around season 20, but 11 to 19 actually has some pretty solid stuff in it.
There's a couple of later seasons that I am fond of nostalgically because they played when I was working. I used to work for the local TV station running the Chiron, and then I was a graphic designer. And I would often work Sunday nights, for the TV station. And we had the TVs on playing all the standard brackets, like there's CBS, there's NBC, there's Fox. So I would often have The Simpsons on in my office while I was working. So the episodes from those seasons, like the 90s show episode, or the one where the anthology where they tell the 3 most romantic stories on Valentine's Day, or the one where Homer becomes an opera singer while he's laying on his back.
Yep.
So I have those. I really treasure because I remember watching them while I was working at that job. So
again, my thought on that is because there is a definite dip in quality after like season 10. Everyone exaggerates it, but I think if you go back with a sober examination, again, like 11 through 19 are not as strong as the previous ones.
But they're not terrible.
But they do have funny stuff in them. And then like the early 20s were 10 years removed from those, and they still suck as much as ever. So like there's no helping them.
The truth is, I think the only Simpsons episodes I watch like clockwork are the Treehouse of Horror. I binge those so much.
Well, what's not to like with those?
Okay.
Saying this coming October, you and I need to do a top 13 best Treehouse of Horror segments. This has been on our to-do list for I don't know how long.
All right. The worldwide 2025 box office is as follows as of today, January 1st. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath. I just have to run outside real quick. Okay. Nisha, number 1 in the world, at $2 billion.
It crossed. Hang on, it got like some kind of a minor re-release in China to get over the 2 mark because it was at like 1.9 for a while.
And it got its release here in the States as well.
Yeah, it's on. I can't remember if it's Netflix or HBO, but
I think
it's on one of those.
Yeah, I think it's HBO Max.
All right. Zootopia 2.
Might get to 1.6, but probably not.
Lilo and Stitch, firmly at over $1 billion, and that's about where it stayed. Minecraft, number 4 at $958 million.
Boy, I really wanted to put that on my worst stuff list. I was
gonna
this
say,
close.
how the hell did they get that high? Did they have to pay for tickets for the chickens?
No, a bunch of idiots just revisiting to throw popcorn around and say chicken jockey.
I mean, young boys, let's be specific. Jurassic World Rebirth, currently at number 5. It's probably about to get passed by Avatar, which is at number 6.
Well, what's the difference between them? Hang on, let's hash
10
that
million.
out real fast. Only 10?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so let's take a second to talk about Fire and Ash because it opened a lot softer than Way of Water, but it had a better second week hold. They actually were kind of comparable after 2 weeks. I think at this point, my bold prediction for Avatar, Fire and Ash, I don't think it beats Zootopia 2.
Probably not.
I think it's going to get to the billion mark, but I don't think it's going to. Again, like the big story with Avatar movies every time is not just a big opening, which is usually
they get
big.
to $2 billion usually. Yeah, everything I've heard about it. everything I've heard about Avatar is this one opened softer than the other two, which is what we said on the review. We basically said, the second one was Hello, Old Friend, and this one's so close to the second one that everyone knows the trick now. And yes, these are still wildly popular movies, but again, there was no. It's the major motion picture blockbuster of the winter season, and it had no other competition in that sense. Next year, and we'll get to it shortly, they're counter programming Doomsday with Dune 3, which is hilarious.
They're desperately trying to get Doomsday, the same way we had Barbenheimer.
Sure.
Oh, are you kidding me? That is the wet dream of every marketing department at the studios now, is to recreate the Barbenheimer phenomenon. And you're right about Avatar. I mean, the only other family films out, Zootopia 2 had been out for a while, and I'm sorry if it's going to come down between Avatar, Fire and Ash, and SpongeBob. Unless you've got really little kids, you're going to go see Avatar.
All right. Just to wrap this up, rounding out the top 10, and then we're going to go into the look ahead. F1 How to Train Your Dragons at number 8, F1 the Movies at number 9, and Superman is hanging on by a thread. Wicked for Good is currently at 507.
What a man!
Yeah,
what a miss that was.
Dropped by what, half?
At least.
Yeah.
The first one got to 700. Well, the first one got to 700. So
right, so not half.
I don't think it has the rewatch value that the first one did.
Yeah. So Wicked for Good's probably stalling out. I think it. I mean, it probably beats Fantastic Four. Probably doesn't beat Mission Impossible, which is well under what we thought it was going to do. Because I think we said it was going to. I said it was probably going to do as much, if not more, and people had kind of the opposite reaction to it. So it is what it is. All right, I'm going to share this so you guys can see what I'm looking at. So this is the part of the show. This is my favorite thing, where we get to talk schedules. I am the schedule.
Man, schedules. God laughs.
Shut up. It's funny you say that. I shouldn't even pick at you, because a lot of I've had to already in preparation for this, I had to already fix some stuff. So I still had Doomsday in the summer slot, for example. But there were things
it may not
that
even come out in December at this rate.
Well, there were things that Soulmate got pulled off the schedule. That was up next. Actually, it would have been our first review of the year. We're going to do Wake Up Dead Man instead. But Soulmate got pulled from the release schedule, and the buzz on it is they're looking for a distributor because apparently they lost faith in it having a doing well in theatrical release. All right. So just kind of where we are with January. So next week is Wake Up Dead Man. The 12th is the first of two Oscar shows. We're doing Begonia, Marty Supreme, and Hamnet. So if you liked what we said here, Robert will have seen all three of these by then, and we'll have a fuller discussion of them.
And Mark will have seen Begonia, and we'll just spend the entire time trying to convince me that Yorgos Lanthimos shouldn't be shot.
And then our first real review of January in theater review, our official Damn You Hollywood is 28 years later, The Boneyard. I know it's the Bone Temple, boning in the Boneyard. And then after that is Mercy, which is the Chris Pratt sci-fi film. Any issues there?
No, I am completely fine with that. However, there is an untitled home invasion romance, Mark, and I'm sure that at least two people in your life are just dying to go see it.
There's a couple of, and I'll talk about that shortly. So I made the schedule for the first couple of months ahead of time a little bit, and so that's going to incorporate some of these streaming movies that I'm passing through here. But those are all the major releases for the month of January. February, let's go to February 4th. February 4th, or the 6th.
I don't see anything worthwhile there.
Between February 4th and February 6th, 6th is the actual Friday, I don't have anything there, so I think I have a triple feature scheduled. Okay, I just talked about this. So it's three streaming movies, one of which was an in-theater movie from last year that I've been wanting to see, so I figured why not throw it in here. So there's The Rip, The Wrecking Crew, and Roofman, which I'm sure you saw the trailers for.
I've seen the trailers for Roofman. You're going to make me watch a Jason Momoa buddy cop comedy.
It's got Dave Bautista in it. Quit your bitching.
That doesn't help, Mark.
The other one is a Joe Carnahan directed movie with Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Stephen Yeun, Teyana
Well, that
Taylor.
won't be,
Sasha
localized
Kyle.
to the East Coast.
Anyway, so that's The Rip, which is going to be on Netflix. So that's what we're doing that week instead, unless you have any major objections.
Yeah, how did I haven't seen the movie in question, but how did you not put G20 as one of your worst movies of the year?
Almost made the list. It was close. Again, I had a good time making fun of it. All right, that brings us to the 13th. I'm going to move this over here.
I assume that's the Wuthering Heights
Well,
adaptation.
hang on. The 13th, I've got nothing. So what are we doing on the 16th? Nothing. I haven't put anything yet. So let's talk about this.
Okay, what do we got? We have Goat.
Which is I don't really want to do that one. That's the animated.
No, I
Goat
don't want to
movie.
do that either.
I'm kind of
What?
leaning. I'm kind of leaning on Wuthering Heights, unless you can find a showing of Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, which is an independent Briarcliff. That's why I'm a little afraid of this one. It's directed by Gore Verbinski.
That's why you should be afraid of it, for the record.
Anyway, Robert, your choices are Wuthering Heights, which is going to be the major release from Warner Brothers, or Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die.
We should throw an honorable mention to Crime 101 in there,
Oh, yeah.
for the record.
We can do Crime 101. I'm not married to any one of these. Scheduled to be released by Amazon, MGM Studios, and internationally Sony Pictures on February 13th, 26.
It's a crime drama.
It's directed by Bart Layton, also screenplay by Bart Layton, based on a book. Yeah, you want to do
Sure.
Crime 101?
No one wants to hear me talk about Wuthering Heights.
Fair, and that's why we do this segment. All right.
Having read Wuthering Heights, no one wants to hear me talk about it. My 10th grade English teacher got annoyed with me when I had to do that.
All right, let me put this on here. I'm just gonna put
Hemsworth, Barry Kogan. Look, man, why is Mark Ruffalo not dead? Anyway,
I'm just gonna stop that. I am just gonna put this on here before I'll add your name later, just for time's sake. All right.
Next week.
All right. The week of the 20th. Let me see what I have on my calendar already. I don't have anything. Oh, I proposed doing Psycho Killer.
Sorry.
Yes. It's a Fox. Ha ha. Gavin Polone. Who's in this? Georgina Campbell, Logan Miller, Malcolm McDowell. Horror, thriller.
Yeah. Okay.
Police officer.
They're making a sequel that I can only imagine. Oh no, wait, sorry, I'm getting that confused with a different movie.
Psycho Killer,
Anyway.
yes or no?
It's that or This Is Not a Test, and I'm not sure. Probably Psycho Killer's the better choice of those two.
Yeah, only because, like I said, until you move to a real city, it's hard to do the independent stuff when it's in theater.
Yeah. Well, no, that's on Shudder, so I can actually technically I pay for Shudder, so.
Well, I don't, so we're doing Psycho Killer.
Oh, so now you're the provincial one we're having to go around. Got it.
Get your digs in while you can. All right, so that's Psycho Killer. Next is easy one. That's Scream 7.
Yeah, Scream 7. Easy.
That comes out the 27th, so we will do that on the 2nd of March. All right, I didn't put it on here yet, but the next, move the list up. The next is Hoppers and the Bride. We all have to have a conversation about this. Alexis, let me lead here.
Go ahead.
So the 9th is going to be Hoppers. That's the new Pixar movie.
I have so little faith in that.
Hoppers. Are you going to be on for that one?
Yeah, I'll be there. You want me to ask Zach if he's up for it?
That is entirely up to you and not really what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
All right. So I will be gone with my kids the following Monday. Alexis, would you like to host Damn You Hollywood for the Bride?
Yeah, I would love to.
Great.
That's either going to be something very interesting or the worst dumpster fire of the year. There is no in between with that. movie.
Unfortunately, you're probably right, but I am excited to see it. This is Maggie Gyllenhaal's directorial debut. She also wrote the screenplay. And Jessie Buckley, who we just got done raving about from Hamnet, in the lead with Christian Bale. So,
Okay, let me. Where are you, Alexis? And let me put a note.
Wait, they're remaking Youngblood, but now it's about a black kid? Piss off.
All right, Alexis is host. All right, so that takes care of that. And then I'm back the 20th. For the 20th. So that takes care of that. So the following week is Reminders of Him, which we don't want to do. The Breadwinner isn't slanted, so we can throw the 13th out. That's why it worked for The Bride.
Yeah.
Okay, the 20th is Project Hail Mary. That's the Phil Lord and Miller movie.
I hate so much about how they did that trailer.
I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen the trailer?
I have not seen or if I did it, it left no impression on me, and I don't remember it. But this
read the book. The book
Okay.
is really good.
well, I was going to say that's why a lot of people are really excited about it. It's from the same author as The Martian.
Yeah,
Okay.
but they spoil like the biggest twist in the trailer.
All right, so
If
we're
you've seen
all
the trailer, you know what I'm talking about.
all right. So we're all agreed that Damn You Hollywood, Project Hail Mary, that was an easy one. Okay.
Hey. Okay, next week.
Because nothing else looks good here. I mean we have a choice. Well, let me put it this way, and I got to be real specific about this. Jason sent me a couple of. Hang on one second. Again, I'm putting Ready or Not 2 here. You guys kibitz about it for a second. I have to go AFK again.
Ready or Not 2. Surprised it took them that long to get around to a sequel. I'm just glad I get to do that instead of They Will Kill You.
I'm looking forward to Ready or Not. The first Ready or Not is on my DVD stand. It's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, we had nothing but good things to say about it, but this way I don't have to watch a Zazie Beetz movie.
For the record, I've been writing down TV shows that we're looking at for 2026. So hopefully after this, I can do a little promo for shows that we're hopefully going to be adding to the schedule. Right now, the only ones that are on the schedule at the moment, we're going to be talking Stranger Things season 5. Here in a few weeks, followed the week after, which we're going to look at It, Welcome to Derry.
Okay. So you guys are okay. I needed to kind of gently talk to you about Ready or Not. Here I come. Jason asked to do that one, Alexis. So unless you and Jason fucking kiss and make up, that's going to be me, Robert, and Jason.
I'm willing to cooperate if he is.
I'm not getting involved. What I said was you need to reach out to him and see if you can mend fences. Otherwise, he got to me before you did.
All right.
All right.
So the week after, we're clearly doing the drama because Mark wants to talk about his Zendaya and Robert Pattinson project. I'm kidding. It's the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
I would much rather do the drama.
I hate you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The notion of Zendaya and Robert Pattinson in a romantic comedy makes my skin crawl.
I don't think it's a romantic comedy.
Run your thing over it, Mark.
Hang on, give me a second. I'm putting the Super Mario Brothers movie in the calendar.
It is listed as a romantic comedy drama film.
Because the trailers have shown absolutely no hint that this is a comedy.
I don't trust trailers. They're just bad at this.
All right, so we're up to the 10th, right? Yeah, we're up to the 10th. That is you, me, and Tuscany. So that's going to be a no. That's going to be a no for me. Robert, because that's coming out and so far nothing else has been added to that date, I put on the 13th in the blink of an eye. That's why we did that. Okay?
Yeah, I can live with that.
I mean, unless you really want to talk about fucking an upcoming American romantic comedy directed by Kat Quaro.
I think
You,
Robert
me,
would
and
rather have
it's you, me, and Tuscany, Mark. You were the one who waxed so poetic about Tuscany when we reviewed.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I've seen the trailers for that. The answer's no.
Alrighty. Oh, hang on. This is why we do this. Because I currently have the Mummy on the 17th, so let me get rid of that. That's gone. And instead, we've got Lee Cronin's The Resurrected, or Four Kids Walk Into a Bank, directed by Frankie Shaw. And we have
I've heard of
Normal
neither of
from,
these.
and then we have Normal, which is an independent from Magnolia Pictures. So, Lee Cronin's The Resurrected is an American supernatural horror film written and directed by Lee Cronin. That would make sense. That's a Warner Brothers. And then Four Kids Walk Into a Bank is an upcoming American black comedy heist film directed by Frankie Shaw, adapted from the 2017 graphic novel. I mean, I would rather do Four Kids Walk Into a Bank, but
Maybe it could be an episode of Comic Stripped.
I mean, maybe. But then I would have to wait until. Well, no, I guess you're right. But then we'd have to read the book and everything.
I'm good with either one. I'm not gonna throw a. I'm not. I have no dog in that particular hunt.
I would like to do Four Kids Walk Into a Bank.
Okay.
Graphic novel by Matthew Rosenberg. The film stars Liam Neeson, Talia Ryder, Whitney Peake, Jack Dylan Grazer, Spike Fern, Teresa Palmer, and Jim Sturgis.
Not a bad cast, all things considered.
Yeah. All right. Unless there's any objections, that's what we're gonna do.
I said I don't have a giant objection to it, so.
What day is this? April 17th. Okay. Put that there. And then Four Kids Walk Into a Bank.
So
So far, this is not the worst year of movies we've ever done.
Oh no, it's not looking good, but I don't think it's looking, dumpster fire.
I mean, Robert, be fair. This is not one slop fest after another.
Not yet.
No, like I said, this is not the worst thing we've ever done. This is not as bad as it's looked forever, but
I'll say we have yet to come across the why God why entries.
I'm restraining myself partially.
Okay, so the 24th, I'm willing to skip this week, and I'll tell you why.
You don't want to watch Antoine Fuqua's take on the Michael Jackson biopic?
Starring Michael Jackson's son? Oh, wait, is this its son or grandson?
I hate you. I do take 3. Problem is I'm going to Alabama that weekend, so I don't know if I'm going to have time to watch any of these. The only other way to do this would be to do Apex instead. An upcoming survival action thriller directed by Baltazar Comacure and written by Jeremy Robbins. It stars Charlize Theron, Taryn Egerton, and Eric Bana. A rock climber finds herself being hunted in the wild. It's a Netflix. I can watch it while I'm in the hotel with my kids. Maybe at some point that weekend or like whatever, or we can not do anything on that Monday and I can have a night off. It's up to you.
I'm okay doing Apex. Just, kind of keep the trains moving. And if that's easier because you don't have to worry about, doing, messing with your time with your kids, then yeah.
No, well, I was going to say, Robert, your other choice would have been, if I wasn't going to Alabama, we would be doing Michael. So I would say take the win.
Take the whiz. What? No. Bronx Jackson.
Dick. All right. So Apex. I said Apex was coming out on the 24th.
Off. Sorry, I'm looking at May 1st, and I want to die.
Hang on, let me get there. I'm still fucking around.
You're good. You're good. We have a choice of The Devil Wears Prada 2, that godforsaken Animal Farm adaptation, put giant air quotes.
I'm not fucking doing Animal Farm. If you make me do Animal Farm, I will quit.
Not that version. Oh my God, that trailer is making George Orwell spin so fast we can put connectors onto him and power Las Vegas.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing the Orwell. Gollum's fucking.
Andy Serkis.
Animal
Ugh.
Farm. No.
Yeah,
If
sorry.
I have
I
to
feel
listen
that
to Seth Rogen for that long, I might do a murder-suicide.
you kills me because Seth Rogen actually I think would be a good voice for one of the pigs in Animal Farm. But the fact is they've changed the story. It's no longer a parallel to the Russian Revolution. It's
Yeah,
now a
no.
warning about capitalism with an obvious Elon Musk
All right,
substitute.
so we have to do the Devil Wears Prada too.
Hang on. There's also Deep Water if we want to talk about a Rennie Harlan movie.
Here's the problem, Robert. You live in the sticks, and this is a
Look, man,
magenta
I'm
light.
trying not to watch The Devil Wears Prada 2. I'm really trying here.
If you fucking commit to Deep Water, I'll do it. You're the one who's like, I'm not driving for that. Raza, fraga.
I was going to say, are you willing to drive a little bit further if it means you don't have to watch Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway?
Because I'll fucking meet you where you are, Robert. I'll do Deep Water. I live in a fucking city with people.
Hang on. I mean, Rennie Harlan is just like a master of bad schlock.
Well, he has been since the 80s.
Disaster horror film. Yeah, let's put Deep Water on there. And tell you what, 3 weeks out, if I can't find a listing for a showing, I will bite the bullet and do Devil Wears Prada instead.
Deep Water is an upcoming disaster horror film. Aaron Eckhart, Ben Kingsley, released in theaters on May 1st. A group of international passengers en route to Los Angeles to Shanghai are forced to make an emergency landing in shark-infested waters.
Again, Rennie Harlan is a master of bad schlock.
Now they must work together in the hopes to overcome the frenzy of sharks drawn to the wreckage. Well, this sounds wonderful.
I was going to say, this thing screams sci-fi original dying for riff tracks commentary.
Yes. And I'm happy to do that. I would rather do that than Meryl Streep trying to revisit something that made her famous.
Okay.
Whoa,
Well,
whoa, you think that...
Hang on, sorry. Let me rephrase. That was her famous reintroduction to people who didn't watch her original work and stuff like Kramer versus Kramer or Sophie's Choice.
Okay, you know what? That I'll give you. But I was like, if you're about to tell me that... I mean, Meryl Streep is the GOAT, okay? She's the GOAT of acting.
Next.
I think you mispronounced Helen Mirren, but okay.
All right. Well, this is a pretty easy one. Mortal Kombat.
Cheap Detectives.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Okay.
I cannot wait to do Mortal Kombat 2. I'm excited.
Mortal Kombat 2 is the 8th.
Mark and I almost got into a fist fight over the Mortal Kombat readaptation.
Well, yeah, you were in dental pain. It's not really about the movie.
It was also about the movie. I
Fair.
hated that movie. Carl Urban as Johnny Cage is solid enough casting, but
All right. So that's that. I don't even have to look, but I will just to double check my math. The next is wait.
no, there's
Oh, it's
one
on the-
more
it's
week
a-
before that one.
All right. So wait, The Mandalorian Grogu. Hang on. The Mandalorian and Grogu is May 22nd because I think I have it on the wrong. Oh, I do have it on the right date. All right. Well, right now we have nothing for the 15th. Can we go ahead and leave that blank?
I am okay leaving that blank.
And I'm gonna put in this place because they're gonna add stuff as the year goes on, and I need places to do stuff like this. So triple feature, streaming movies, and Robert, I will figure out what those streaming movies will be, or stuff that we didn't see in the theater that maybe we wanted to talk about. Like, I want to leave room for us to go, oh, something that we didn't see in the theaters got a really good review or looks interesting or whatever. It's on PVOD or streaming right now, so we can do catch up, kind of like what we did with Sinners, Drop, and Echo Valley. So if we're not going to do anything on the 15th because there's nothing to do, let's put these markers in place because I will always find time to fill these up and then give them to you instead of giving them to Jesse.
I'm down with that.
And then it doesn't take up another night of my week, which I'm trying to do less of.
And then The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Fucking shoot me.
Am I the only one who's excited for that?
Yes.
Probably.
Speaking of which, child, when we're done here, not now, when they're done here, you need to go through these. And unless I said it's a Jason, you need to tell me which ones you need me to add you to after the fact because I'm not doing it right this second.
Yeah, it's too bad that I can't do Send Help. I was looking forward to talking Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi's always a good time.
He is.
Reach out to him. Send him flowers. All right. Let's see.
You're going to insist we do Master of the Universe.
Well, hang on.
June 5th.
Right now there's nothing. All right, so right now there's nothing on the 29th.
I imagine it's May 29th. Something's going to get there at some point, but you're right. Right now, there's nothing. So
I'm gonna leave it blank for right
yeah,
now.
leave it open.
Because what I had in its place was untitled DC film. That's not happening. Usually Disney puts something there. So, but Disney has something on the 22nd. But maybe it'll be like a Disney proper movie. So like that was probably where like Rapunzel would have ended up if they were still doing it. I'm gonna leave it blank. I'm gonna keep it blank, and then we'll figure out once it gets a little bit closer, or if they add something. That way, I don't have to fucking juggle this. Make sense?
Yep.
I would think Warner Brothers would want that to compete with Mandalorian Grogu, because obviously Disney wants to own that, not start, but midsection of the holiday rush.
Yes, I'm gonna make you do Masters of the Universe. That comes out June 5th. So let me put that here.
Kristen Wiig is in this? Who the hell is she playing?
Hopefully a corpse. She could be Skeletor.
No, that's Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
Okay, so the big
Disclosure Day after that is Spielberg.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't have to sell you on it. Good. So Disclosure Day, which is an American science fiction film produced and directed by
It's Spielberg directing a movie. Like, I'm there. Even if it's bad, I want to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm letting the people know is all. This is Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth.
Hey, Wyatt Russell's getting more work. Good for him.
All right. So what did I say that was? That was the 15th.
Toy Story 5.
Fucking shoot me.
You know, you said that, Mark, remember 5-10 minutes ago when you said this isn't the worst thing we've ever done?
I mean, I said up to the point that I said it, we were doing good. We've hit the
I'm aware.
We've hit the dog days of summer. It's all shit now. All right. So Toy Story 5 is the 19th. That hasn't changed.
That's what it looks like to me.
Okay. So I have to keep.
Hey, guess what comes out after that?
Supergirl.
Guess what comes out after that, Mark?
Hang on. You're so far ahead of me.
I know you're typing stuff up. I'm scrolling ahead, but Minions 3 comes out after Supergirl, Mark.
Okay, can you actually, so I don't have to keep doing this, can you keep feeding me, but only feed me when I open my mouth?
Sure.
All right, so Toy Story 5 is the 19th, so we do that on the 22nd.
Yep.
Supergirl, I have to get with Jesse about doing the actual book, because we don't have that.
You can talk about all the ways they differ from it.
Yeah, we have something else going on the 31st, so I have to get with him about adding Supergirl, like we did All-Star Superman. All right, so that's going to be Damn You Hollywood, Supergirl, Lunar Tomorrow, 9 to 11. Okay. Save. Okay.
July, for the record, like, I'm going to enjoy at least one movie in July, but it kind of sucks.
Okay, so July 3rd is Minions 3, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so Minions 3 is the 6th.
Which I'll probably enjoy, but Mark will hate.
I mean, I haven't really First of all, I haven't hated a Minions movie, I think, yet.
No, but we're getting to that point where I will enjoy it because I'm weird, but I know objectively your hatred of it is correct.
All right, and then Moana, the live action, is the 10th still.
Why?
Could you just say yes or no, please?
Yes, I'm saying it. Look, you want part of my reaction to this for the sake of clip farming. Boy, do I not want to do this one. But yes, yeah. Moana.
Okay, so that's the 10th. So we do that on the 13th. All right. Then the Odyssey, right?
17th is the Odyssey.
Hey, good movie.
Hopefully.
I'm gonna add on the hopefully bit there.
I mean, I'm excited. I love Christopher Nolan. I think him tackling the Odyssey sounds great. Amazing cast. Charlize Theron as Cersei alone is going to be awesome.
Indeed.
I have high hopes.
Yeah. Mark, you know the screen still shows Disclosure Day, not the.
Yeah. Because I'm just gonna get rid of that then, because now he's feeding me these. I'll put it back when I need to. All right. Next is
Evil Dead Burn.
okay. That's Spider-Man's not the 24th.
Spider-Man is the 31st of July.
Okay. So Evil Dead Burn. Evil Dead Burn. Is the 24th, so we'll do that on the 22nd, 7th rather.
Unless the Netflix thing is lying to me. Like if they do come out on the same day, I know we're doing Spider-Man no matter how much I hate it.
Are you on the Wikipedia page?
I am.
All right.
Yeah, the wiki indicates they don't come out on the same day. I'm just saying occasionally that's wrong. Wikipedia is hardly like super reliable.
I'm not gonna get off my screen, but just give me a second.
Yeah.
Car? Okay. Knows we're going to the airport tomorrow? Okay, we'll stop running away. Alrighty. Evil Dead Burn. And then Untitled. Spider-Man it's Brand New Day, right?
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Brand New Day.
Boy, do I hope Punisher just kills everyone.
That's a different book.
I know, but I can hope. August. Good grief, August is ass.
Okay, hang on. Spider-Man, Brand New Day. All right, so we're gonna have to go a little later than I had wanted, but that's okay. I want to get this done.
Yeah, I have nothing for the 7th.
Well, we're getting to where stuff just hasn't been announced yet.
Yeah, so what we do now is leave the 7th blank. I assume something legitimate is going to drop there.
Here's the thing.
Because it's
I don't want to add anything, and I'm not going to start filling up Mondays with other stuff. I am leaving things blank so that we can add them later as stuff gets, because like I said, we can always do triple features of streaming movies or focus on one, like we're doing in the blink of an eye. So I don't want to overload the schedule a year in advance like I always do, and then fuck myself when I don't have time for anything else. And then I'm back to podcasting 6 days a week, which I refuse to do anymore.
So right now, August 7th is listed as One Night Only or Super Troopers 3.
Okay, One Night Only is Will Gluck. It's an upcoming film written by Travis Braun.
It doesn't even list a genre.
It stars Monica Barbaro, Colm Turner, Molly Ringwald, LeVar Burton, Maya Hawke, Julia Fox. Two strangers try to find love. Nope.
And I am not doing Super Troopers 3.
Oh my God, hang on. I gotta read you this premise. We're not doing this, but Robert.
Okay.
Robert.
Regale me.
I will regale you. Two strangers try to find love on the one night a year when premarital sex is legal.
So somebody took the
Purge,
purge.
but if you're
Yes,
horny.
you and I were thinking the exact same thing.
So Will Gluck directed Fired Up.
Why in
EVA,
God's name are we pretending that love is only available through sexual intimacy?
Friends with Benefits, which came out in 2011. Annie. Oh God, he's the monster responsible for the Black remake.
This guy needs to be hit by a bus.
Peter Rabbit 2. Anyone but... Oh good God, he's the monster that did Anyone But You.
Okay, this guy definitely needs to be struck by some kind of fast-moving vehicle.
Moving on. So we're gonna leave that one blank. How do we feel about Flowerville Street?
Never heard of it.
Anne Hathaway, Ewan McGregor.
This is a science fiction film.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a soft yes on this.
Very soft. Like that. If anything else comes out there, happy to move that, but soft yes. I got nothing on the 21st. I am desperately disinterested in the Insidious franchise at this point.
Hang on. I've heard rumors that Flowerville Street is good shit. So,
the thing that it's based on is well regarded.
Mm-hmm. So that's a soft yes. We'll see if it holds. Nothing on the 21st, you said?
Hang on.
Yeah, Insidious and Mutiny. Now, Mutiny is a Lionsgate movie from Jean-Francois Richet.
It's a Jason
Sorry.
Statham film.
It's a
It's Jason-
Jason Statham. This is our generic Statham action thing for the day. Soft, put Mutiny in there.
All right.
Very soft, but
It's the 21st.
then we have to do the dog stars the next week.
You gave me Coyote versus Acme.
The cliffhanger.
No, I know you're joking. I almost was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, oh, he's kidding. He's a kidder.
Oh, look, he's being sarcastic. No, you promised Zach and me we could do Damn You Hollywood for Coyote versus Acme.
And you are correct.
I'm happy with that.
That's the 28th, right?
Yes.
Yeah. John Cena assaults Tweety Bird. What's not to love?
Give me a second. Yes, we are doing Coyote. We will all be happy. I actually do want to see this, so this isn't one of those where it's like, ugh, I got to deal with Alexis kind of a thing. This is
I love you too, Mark.
You're welcome. But I genuinely want to see this movie, and I think my kids will have a good time with it. Coyote versus Acme, and that's yeah. Save. All right. So we're getting to the point now where if we don't see anything, we can just say skip and move on. We got a David Lech movie, How to Rob a Bank.
Happy to skip that for now, and we can revisit this later.
All right, we got to do Clayface.
We don't have to, but
Oh, come on.
You know the rules. Oh, good, another
just
disaster.
saying we don't have to. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, good, another disaster on September 11th. Besides the original. Wah 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 wah.
Oh, good grief.
Oh,
I
God,
like
the 18th. Ew.
I like it when I say things that when the AI reads the script, just smacks its forehead. Like, well, how do I work with this fella? Oh, that's right. I'm a machine and I have to. All right. What are you belly aching about? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we were all belly aching about.
Oh. Well,
Okay, hang on. If there's one thing about the umpteenth attempt to make a decent Resident Evil movie, this one's directed by Zach Kreger.
the 18th, right?
Yeah. Yeah, a guy who did Barbarian and Weapons.
So if
Right.
there is one potential light in the darkness that has been the long sad,
Okay.
so sad. You don't understand how sad. I did a
assume-
Long Road to Ruin on the original Resident on the Paul W.S. Anderson Resident Evil movies.
Translation, I need to make sure my wife still thinks that I think she's
Listen
hot.
to me. You know, Jason, this is like Jason's favorite thing, so you know he's gonna want to do that one. I'm just gonna warn you ahead of time.
At least you're not sticking me with practical magic too.
Why are we reviving that? And why in me?
All right, so
It's
September
written
20
by Akiva Goldsman, and I wish that someone would do a hate crime on him.
What are you? Oh, you're talking about practical magic. We're not reviewing it. Who gives a fuck? All right, we got Forgotten Island. Oh, we got Forgotten Island here, and it doesn't even have like a fucking Wikipedia page. It just goes to Joel Crawford's Wikipedia. I don't know what this is, but it's got someone named H.E.R. I don't know what that
Gabriella
is.
Semiento Wilson is an American R&B singer and songwriter.
I don't know what that is. And the other
Or
one's
Charlie Harper.
Can we
Yeah,
just
how about
skip
we
this?
just leave September 25th alone?
Moving on. All right, we got Digger. That's a Warner Brothers. An upcoming
Stars
Black...
Tom Cruise. It's directed by Alejandro Inarritu.
Who always turns out something good.
All right, so I'm good with doing Digger. It's fine. with
Yeah,
me.
that's what it's going to be.
The Digger is. Help me.
October 2nd.
Thank you. October 2nd. This is another soft yes, because who knows what's going to end up in October by this point.
I have a hard time imagining us doing something over that one. Looking at the
actually,
cast and
Well, again,
everyone
what
involved.
if they add Tron Your Mama or something?
How about you? Yeah, don't threaten my mother with that.
I was just saying, I was looking at the rest of the cast of Digger. That's one hell. Yeah, Tom Cruise. We got Jesse Plemons, Riz Ahmed, Emma Darcy, Bern Gorman, Michael Stuhlbarg. That's a really good cast.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a big one.
Well, we have to do the social reckoning.
We don't. We really don't.
You know
but
the rules, fuckface. Stop bothering me.
Aaron Sorkin.
I
Oh my
wish
god.
someone would.
Shut up, you child. What's wrong
I
with
wish
you?
someone would kick him in the dick really, really hard.
It gets so hard to do this with you both.
I would say that if we were doing this off air and you know it.
All right. So the social reckoning is the 9th. Probably have Andrew on for that if he can get out of hockey with his kid or some shit.
Street
All right.
Fighter.
Street Fighter, yes.
I'm on for that.
You have to send me a list when we're done, sweetie.
I know.
I don't want it. I don't want any of it.
Street Fighter 2 was one of my de facto games as a
I
kid.
love
on my
the
Super
game.
Nintendo.
I have a weird nostalgia for the terrible 90s adaptations because Raul Julia's the man.
Well, yeah, Raul Julia's the man, and he's the only good thing about that whole movie.
That is not true. Ming-Na Wen is a good Chun-Li.
Okay, fine, there's that.
Everything else. Well, you know what? No. I will stick up for the poor bastard they got playing Zangief because he is just tremendous.
It's actually hilarious when you look at all the other films he's done. You realize that was the guy who played Christopher Walken's son in Batman
I
Returns.
am throwing M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong on here. Oh, good. It's a story by Nicholas Sparks.
Oh, fuck me!
Oh, this is gonna be fantastic because Alexis is such.
Of all the weird random crossovers, M. Night Shyamalan directing a Nicholas Sparks.
This might be
movie.
my new fate. This is my #1 movie for next year. I already know. By the way, Alexis is such a is such a boy with a vagina that it's fucking supernatural romantic thriller, and she's like, "Fuck you," and like knocked.
I hate Nicholas Sparks' work. Okay, I hate.
You are so funny to me.
Nicholas Sparks is a.
I refuse to like
Sad.
anything girls like. I'd like to remind you that I'm a feminist. What the fuck are you talking about? Alexis is like a male feminist. That's what I think you are.
You
I
can't
just
trust
don't
male.
like. Look, I'm sorry. Nicholas Sparks schmaltzy shit is like cancer. Okay,
I can't.
I hate it.
Hey. Everything he does has cancer, so he can't be cancer.
I now want to do a triple feature of like Nicholas Sparks adaptations with you, Alexis, just to torture you because I'm the sadist.
That would be torture. That would get you dragged into the Hague, Mark.
I was gonna say, I'm sorry, unless you plan on coming up to Kansas City, tying me to a chair, and forcing me Clockwork Orange style to watch that shit, not gonna happen.
Listen, bitch, don't threaten me with a good time. Anyway, speaking of a good time, Cat in the Hat.
No.
I don't want to do it either.
As
Why-
opposed to
So
Arcane.
let's not. We don't have to do this to ourselves, Mark.
I think we could skip this one. I think you're right. We have Ebenezer, A Christmas. I'm gonna just say we'll wait. More stuff will be added to the November calendar, but this one, The Hunger Games, this is a must. I really don't want to do the Cat in the Hat. That's kind of Anaconda for me. Whereas like my kids might, I don't know. They saw they saw something of a trailer for it and was just like, "Fuck this." So who knows?
I was on board until they went into what is supposed to be like the real world, and it's the Boss Baby style animation. Because it's like when you see just the Cat in the Hat world with that very like lineless style of animation, I'm like, this actually looks kind of interesting. It's like, oh no, never mind. I'm out.
All right, so I got the Hunger Games on there. I'm gonna leave the rest of November alone.
No. We have to hang on. November 25th right now is still listed as having Hexed, and that's the Disney animated movie.
Yep.
Mhm.
And that also
Fine.
saves me from Fokker in Law.
Robert. There are look. Torturing Alexis is one thing. Torturing myself, I'm not gonna do.
Is anyone interested in the 26 Narnia, the Magician's Nephew?
Slow down.
no.
Slow down. Hang on. You're confusing me. So Hex is the 25th.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the day before Thanksgiving, midweek, Thanksgiving break release. So that's the 30th. Slow down with the Narnia thing for a second.
Yeah, the day after is Greta Gerwig's Narnia Abomination. It's going to come
Is that
out
a
on
Netflix?
Netflix.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I loathe Greta Gerwig's work at this point, and watching her turn Narnia into some god awful bastardization of what it's supposed to be is just gonna
Okay.
drive me up the wall.
Slow down a second. So right now we have Hexed on the 30th, which brings us to the 7th is the next open date for a movie 2 review of anything. I desperately want to do Madden. So that's going to be
At that point,
Alexis,
Red,
hang on. Alexis, talk to me privately about doing stuff with Narnia because I might be interested in doing that and A Long Road to Ruin for the old ones if you're interested. And we just need to figure out other dates to do it. Those might be Thursday shows.
Okay, we can do something like that.
Yeah, let's talk privately.
Yeah, but we've got time.
We're doing Madden. I'm evoke. Oh wait, this is a Prime Video one. Huh.
well, I know Madden's done by Amazon MGM. I don't know if it's going straight to Prime
Well,
or
it
not.
says distributed by Amazon MGM Studios via Prime Video. Release date November 26th. Let me.
Okay.
I was going to say, I don't see Dwayne Johnson's name anywhere, so nobody's holding the editor hostage to make sure that this gets put on the big screen.
Madden.
Speaking of Rock the Dwayne Johnson, the untitled Jumanji sequel is set for the 11th.
As I
December.
said, stop moving ahead of me. Madden is scheduled to be released on Prime Video November 26th. Slow down, sit down. You're rocking the boat. Madden is on Thanksgiving Day. I really want to talk about the Madden movie, so
I'm happy to do it with you.
sorry. We're gonna do that one then on the 7th.
Because it's that or Violent Night 2 for the 7th.
Well,
Oh,
hang
I
on.
can't wait for Violent Night 2.
Well, that's the thing. We might need to move some stuff around. So let me just put it on the calendar, and then it's easier for me to move.
Okay.
All right. Violent Night 2 comes out on the 4th.
Yes.
Mhm.
What comes out on the 11th?
The
Jumanji.
Jumanji sequel.
Hey, what if we did this, Robert? Right? Let's make a deal.
All right.
Because I love you.
That
And everyone that looks like you.
This is going to hurt.
Let's move that there. What if we do Madden instead of Jumanji at all? And just fucking skip it altogether.
I'm okay with that.
And we'll do that in the 14th slot, and then we'll do Violent Night 2 on the 7th.
That works for me.
It's just again, I there are some things I'm like, oh, I would have done the Devil's Wear Prada, but I'm not gonna fight you on not doing it. And then there's other stuff I'm just tired of forcing myself to watch this crap. Turn into you. All right, the 18th. What's on the 18th?
Doomsday and
Doomsday
Dune.
and Dune.
It's
Oof.
Doomsday.
All right. Well, fuck me in the goat ass. Okay. Let's figure out how we want to do this. Let me first put these on my calendar. Average. Dick. Avengers. Doomsday. Yep. And
But
then
what
on
it's-
the
I would say for what it's worth, the week.
stop. And then Dune 3 is on the 18th. Before I
Gaia frees the people of the galaxy by bringing communism to
You're
them
not
at this
helping. I
point.
just told her to shut up. All right. What movies come out the week of the 21st?
Nothing. There's no major release till the 23rd.
Literally nothing.
And the 23rd is Shudder, Angry Birds 3.
We can skip that one. So am I okay to do the 21st is Doomsday, the 28th is Dune, and then we'll do the year in review on the 31st like we did this year?
Werewolf is scheduled for Christmas, and I want to review that.
Robert Eggers' film, absolutely.
Well, here's what I'm proposing, and I'm going to put it on the calendar this way. All right, so hang on. We're going to do Doomsday on the 21st because that makes the most sense. Yep. And then we'll do Dune 3 on the 28th. I'm getting to you, Robert. Don't you panic. Dune 3.
Gesundheit, whoever's sneezing in the background.
I mean, my girlfriend was in Cleveland for a couple of days, so she came back with a cold, as one dolphin does when you fly to Cleveland in the winter.
There is something really nasty going around. Everyone's getting the flu.
What date does Werewolf come out?
25th, Christmas.
WEREWULF.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Germanic spelling.
Unless there's something else on January. Oh wait, hang on. We can't do the end of the year spectacular on Thursday. That is New Year's Eve. So hang on. But we'll do Werewolf on the 4th, unless there's something else coming out on January 1st that you care about, Robert.
I would have to bump over to look at 27, and a year out is a literal year out is a exercise in futility.
So we're gonna just commit to then Werewolf on as the first of the 2027, and we can stop here. I'll figure out when and where we're gonna do the year in review separately. All right, so that's it. That is the look ahead. Any thoughts?
Still looks bad.
It's all bad.
I guess it's all bad. There's definite high points to be had, I think, next year.
Just say you always think the year ahead looks bad. This is the same
I've
thing
not
you said.
Have I been wrong yet, though?
So hang on. Jason's fucking sending me a list here. He's probably watching. Because I'm hopping on Madden, Mortal Kombat, Resident Evil, and Silent Hill. We're not doing Silent Hill. Stop telling me about it. Did we even see Silent Hill in the list?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
we did.
I saw it when I was scrolling through. There was something significantly larger at the same time.
Hang on. Let me IMDb it. Not Silent Night, Deadly Night, something else.
Silent Hill.
Silent Hill Return to Silent Hill 2026, January 23rd.
Okay, and oh my god, January 23rd.
It's coming out the same day as Mercy.
Oh no, we're doing Mercy. There's no fucking way I'm doing Return to Silent Hill then. So yeah, you and Jason really need to have a conversation.
All right, because I already called dibs on Mortal Kombat.
You certainly did, except that I didn't write it down, so go fucking talk to him. All right.
Has he unblocked me yet?
I don't know. I'm not dealing with your people's personal issues. Anyway, Alexis, would you like to weigh in 10 words or less on the year ahead?
Looking at a list of TV party tonights that we are hopefully going to be adding to the schedule. Now, like I mentioned last time you had to duck away, we do have Stranger Things Season 5 scheduled. We're going to take a look at that on January 13th. That's going to be me, Jesse Starcher, and someone else. Who the hell else was it? Okay. And the week after that, we're going to be doing It, Welcome to Derry. You said Jonas was interested in jumping in on that?
I believe so, yes. And he wasn't going to watch the new Avatar show that you wanted him to come with the second season of that. Then I told him you wanted him for it, and he was like, well, this fucking sounds like Robert. Well, I guess if she wants me to come on, then I'll fucking watch it again, but I wasn't gonna. Okay.
He knows the Avatar: The Last Airbender series well. He knows the characters, and he brought a lot.
Again, a lot like Robert, he has to be drag kicking and screaming. So,
all right. We've got Percy Jackson and Fallout Season 2 that we need to get on the schedule. We'll be putting those in for February. Andrew Roscoe will be joining me for Fallout, and Sean Comer will be joining me for Percy Jackson. As far as shows that are coming out this year that we do not have on the schedule, we've got 2 George R.R. Martin properties with House of the Dragon Season 3 and A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We got The Boys Season 5. I assume you want to host that one like you did last year, and I'll jump on.
Yeah, I was going to.
Mark and I we're committed to we're committed to getting.
The
through
Boys
that
might
one.
be the only TV party I do next year, besides the ones I'm doing with Jesse.
There's also Monster: The Lizzie Borden Story. Can I pull you back in for more? Ryan Murphy doesn't know how to properly handle people's trauma.
Yeah, we got to wrap, guys. It's
Okay.
we're 20 some odd minutes over where I wanted to be. So, I think this was fun to kind of look at the schedule ahead of time and kind of map it out. There's definitely seems like there's a lot of really fun, interesting movies on it. Obviously, there's the Summer of Slop, but they're always a Summer of Slop. I'm going to predict right now, The Mandalorian and Grogu, I'm probably going to enjoy, and it's going to be fucking terrible. That's like, That's like my avatar of next year.
Okay, you want to know my thing about that movie? I have a very serious, sort of semi-serious question. I have not seen a single episode of The Mandalorian.
First 2 seasons are great.
Don't care. Not watching.
Okay, fine.
At this point, I'm not watching to see what it's like to go into that movie blind.
With having not done the homework, teacher. Yeah.
Because
Folks.
movies shouldn't require homework. Who'd have thought?
All right.
All we've been saying about Marvel.
Well, I want to thank Robert and Alexis for a great year. We're going to go out with, it's about 7 minutes of this. I made this special. I made this for you. If we lose the feed, at least we lost it at the end. So here is the extra special year in review. Where am I? The year in review video that I made. So celebrating all that we've done here and all the fun that we had. So hope you enjoy it. I'm gonna kick us. Well, I guess can you guys see the video if I kick everybody out of the box?
We can see okay right now.
No, I mean if I kick you out of, if I do this. Let's try that again. Like when you were outside of it, could you still see the video and hear the video?
Yeah, we can't interact. But yeah, I can still see the feed.
Yeah, we're just muted and
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna kick us all out of the box and we can watch the loveliness that. Well, I guess if I do that, then we might get kicked off sooner. So I hate technology, folks. Thank you for joining us here on Damn You Hollywood and your review. Here's a fun video.
Damn you, Hollywood, where less is always more. Damn you, Hollywood, we've done this before. Damn you, Hollywood, say the name, say the score. A working man, hard-boiled noir mashed with revenge kill story. Ballerina, I wanted John Wick to shoot her in the head. I wanted that to be the ending. Captain America, Brave New World. Feels like kids asking their parents, show me Tom Clancy movies. Companion, first great movie of the year for me. Control freak, meaningless repetition. Names for profound lens as a genre misfire. Dear Evan Hansen, the Apple Store version of Oscar bait. Damn you, Hollywood, well less is always more. Say it clean, say it flat, say it like a verdict, not a roar. Drop, poorly acted, terrible script, terrible concept, Echo Valley, lifetime movie energy, no ratings, no FCC, no standards. Elio better than the box office says. F1, success comes from playing the right notes and actually caring. Fantastic Four, first steps, best Fantastic Four, yeah. A real treat for fans, Final Destination, Bloodline. Just make me afraid of everything. Damn you, Hollywood. Well, this is always more. Same posters, same beats, different year, same show. J20! You see the poster, you already know. Happy Gilmore 2, apple pie, glass of milk. It's a stage action film so strangely it's funny. An action filled film. Total mind fuck it, I loved it. Holland, Nicole Kidman elevates material that's otherwise dry and overrun. How to Train Your Dragon, more Lion King than Cinderella. Live action just highlights the flaws. I know what you did last summer. Most unintentionally funny so far. Jurassic World Rebirth feels like a TV pilot. For Jurassic Park, Karate Kid, Legends, a Gordian knot of half-baked ideas. Kind of pregnant, Amy Schumer isn't terrible, not broadly appealing, but not a bad person. Damn you, Hollywood, where less is always more. You cut the edges, the sand, the teeth. funny, you see the poster, you already know. Happy Gilmore to apple pie, glass of milk, heads of state, action film, so strangely it's funny, and action-filled film, total mind fucking, I loved it. Holland, Nicole Kidman elevates material that's otherwise dry and overawed. How to Train Your Dragon, more Lion King than Cinderella. Live Action just highlights the flaws. I know what you did last summer, most unintentionally funny so far. Jurassic World Rebirth feels like a TV pilot for Jurassic Park. Karate Kid Legends, accordion out of half-baked ideas. Kind of pregnant, Amy Schumer isn't terrible, not broadly appealing, but not a bad person. Damn you, Hollywood, where less is always more. You cut the edges, you sand the teeth, then ask why it's a bore. Lilo and Stitch, they removed an entire villain, and that really got to me. Love hurts, perfect encapsulation of bad romance. Love me at its core, a longing for connection. I'm getting 2.0, best time I've had at the movies in a while. Magazine dreams half pregnant, the movie. Mickey 17, not funny, not moving, not sharp. Mission Impossible, the final reckoning. Best final chapter since Endgame. Night always comes 2 hours, needs 15 more of hard life numbness. What stayed with me was how it made me feel. Novocaine is bland as fried chicken in Connecticut. Damn you, Hollywood, where less is always more. Say the title, say the truth, hit stop. Next score. One battle after another, that was a weird way to announce retiring and feathering people one of them days. I love a good absurd comedy. Queen of the Ring sounds too much like modern wrestling. Sinners steps away from rom-com roots and gets better. Snow White, worst movie I've seen this year, bar none. Star Trek, sex that ended the movie. Freedom building a real new world the day the earth blew up. Surreal and fun, the electric state, fled dystopian action fantasy. The Long Walk, one of the best films of the year. The Monkey, twisted absurd, exactly my cup of tea. The Naked Gun, less Naked Gun, more taken parody. The Smashing Machine won't win, but deserves the nomination. The Toxic Avenger in name only. Thunderbolt, so mediocre it confirms Marvel won't do better. Together, body horror, emotionally sticky, memorably gnarly. Wallace and Gromit. First show we've done that was 100% positive. War of the Worlds, bad concept, poorly executed, terribly written, pathetically acted. Warfare, love the technical achievement, shot well, edited well, sound design rules. Wolfman, if this is the best movie this year, cancel this podcast, we're dead in 2010. You're cordially invited, the money spent on this is a drop in the bucket. Damn you, Hollywood, where less is always more. Say the name, say the line, say it like we always have before. Damn you, Hollywood, hit record. Say it again. Less is more.